Yeah, Name and Line Productions, Destiny Lab Collabo, CeeLo's Beat. Let's get 'em.
Some people flee and some people fight. There's some that will stand, defend what is right. There's others who run, cower and hide. Despite all the evidence that's been supplied, there's a war over truth, the greatest divide. There's a line in the sand, now where will you side? There's no reason to fear, with Christ on our side. The wide or the narrow path, time to decide.
Call themselves guys and erected the Stark Tower, but now their brightest moment shall become their darkest hour. They wanted people to kneel and cower like they got the power, but my God got the power higher than the highest tower. They shall crumble and cower like the Tower of Babel. My God owns a cattle on 1,000 hills. They can rattle and tattle. The Holy Spirit will still overshadow like the day of Pentecost or as in the last battle.
One God, one Christ, God in the flesh, man. Sent from above, second down on the cleanse, man. Trample the serpent, flooded the earth, destroy and purge all the blood from the Nephilim curse. At the moment, no a first step foot on the dirt. It began all again toward Babylon's birth. For a time it emerges, even in church, to revert mankind, so we must be alert. There's a struggle deep inside, a spiritual fight, a battle for souls between darkness and light. Deep inside every one of us and all of our lives, sin is grinding like sleight of hand to mesmerize, but we're wise to the plan and schemes that they devise. Nothing's new, recognize it's the same disguise. Sheep of fallen ones wearing new skins and hides. We deny them through Christ, access denied.
Trying to set free all of these captive borders. Read your Bible, that's the captain's orders. Got the mind of Christ, that's the captain's quarters. Now you're safe within the captain's borders. My God's plants it higher than Spider-Man. Rip the scales off of the Leviathan. You can call the lizard man, retire Hydra clan. My God will still inspire them. We're a little sharper than the two-edged sword of proton blast by Iron Man.
No wrong. There's no version of this where you come out on top.
All right. We are here. We are live. Steve J. and Mo. I got the TruthSeeker69 with me. I got Bobby Stevens. It's still the 27th of July, 2020. I don't know if I buy it. What's up, guys? You buy it?
No.
No. Why would you buy it? I see statues with I instead of one for 1900. So
Jen,
who even knows what it
she
is?
doesn't know.
I don't know. Jen is muted. Oh, here we go. So here's a TV smasher. That shit was badass.
Yeah, that video,
Sabotage.
the kill, like in a different world, like that could have been like in like the early '90s, probably like one of the best wrestling promos ever. Like, oh, you're a big TV star,
right?
huh? And you bash the TV. Like, I'll see you Sunday at WrestleMania.
Oh my dude,
It's a great vignette. I love it.
Just end the show now, bro. That's the best thing we're gonna talk about all night. Holy crap, that's awesome.
That's all I thought about. I'm like, damn, this is like Attitude Era, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right, I was gonna say like Shawn Michaels makes a comeback or something.
So good.
Just smashing the TV. No
it's so
way
simple.
out.
That's what's so effective, Jen. That you're really good at. You take these beautiful, simple ideas, but like the way you shoot them, it's so powerful.
Really? Thank you.
It's amazing. I love it.
Lucky Vince McMahon never got his hands on you because you'd be like doing all the promos. They would have never went bankrupt and had to change their logo 7 different times.
Right? Yeah. I was driving down the street. I just left my house and was turning the corner, and I saw this TV sitting out on the side of the road, and I stopped, I reversed. I said, that's the one. There it is. I was just waiting to find one in the trash, or I was going to go to a thrift store and get one. But a friend of ours just told us they have a flat screen they're going to give us that we can shoot up at the range. So I'm going to video that next time because we're going to go to the range and take some stuff with us. And
what song are you going to do for that one?
I don't know. You're going to have to help me figure one out.
I don't know, man.
How about Godsmack? Whatever.
I don't know nothing about that.
About Godsmack?
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't know what that means.
I found out about Godsmack when I was like real young. No, not real young. Let's relax. I was a teenager. But it was an MTV show, Fear, where like they would take like people and they would put them in a quote haunted place with like a vest, and the vest they had on had cameras and flashlights on, and their song Voodoo was the theme song. That's when I found out about Godsmack.
Yeah, whatever is the only really good song they have.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but yeah, that would be a cool song to tear up a TV too.
I'll have to check that out. I'm in the dark on this one.
Are you serious? You don't know? That's just not right.
He knows he knows Godsmack. Like they had a couple quote radio hits that were like everywhere.
Well,
you heard.
Really
if that's the case, then yeah, then I probably
like some people I talk to.
Like
because like my favorite band's Blink-182, and they're like, "Oh, I never heard Blink," and I play them like all the small things, and they're like, "Oh, I heard this on the radio." I'm like, "Then shut up."
You have heard of Alien Ant Farm, that band?
Yeah,
okay, so you know the song "Smooth Criminal"?
Smooth Criminal, yep.
Okay, so as I was making this video of smashing the TV up, I knew I was going to do it to sabotage. As I'm perusing the videos, trying to find the one with the best quality sound and everything, I recorded my thing. Well, next thing the thing plays on to the next song, and I'm doing my thing, and I look up. I'm like, "What the fuck is this shit?" It's blasting in my ear. First off, I had to lower it real quick, and the next thing I know, I see a kid in a yellow shirt dancing with a mask on, and I'm like, "This song is fucking old. Let me look this up. It's fucking from 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people in the scene, but just this one kid with a mask on, a surgical mask, dancing. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I couldn't even believe I just saw that. It's like these synchronicities just keep coming my way, and I keep catching all these things in shows and videos and news things, and it's just nuts.
I mean, you can't like miss some things that now that you have like the eyes to see and the ears to hear, it's like even with the whole I don't even know what to call it, 'cause I'm getting some whiplash where sometimes when I post about mud flood, I don't know what happened. It seems to me like two separate events happened. Some things got fucking scorched beyond belief, popcorn bricks everywhere, but some things are just to have a layer, like not a layer, I'd say like layers of just gravel, dirt, earth between it. I don't know if that was part of the building that collapsed, but I mean the stuff that I find inside of those things, like the arches, those have no real signs of scorching. There's no popcorn bricks. It's all just there. It's really just interesting, so I don't know what happened, but I'm under the impression two separate events happened, or two different kinds of events happened over X amount of time,
So we're going to look at a video that I mirrored last night on my channel. I think it's about 12 to 15 minutes long, but in respect to what we were talking about, the total grid meltdown. Remember we did that first show with Jerry called Total Grid Meltdown? He was talking about the earth being a grid, and that these buildings are situated and set up in a grid-like fashion. And that, and I said, well, maybe the grid fried. Maybe part of the surge went up and into certain areas, and it got really heated and melted and everything, and other parts just had like semi-surges and stuff. Well, this guy takes a circuit board and he actually mirrors it against the city. Like you're looking at the little knob things on the circuit board, and you're looking at the buildings in the background, it's like identical. And then how the circuit board looks when it starts to fry and melt and everything, and what all the components look like and all this stuff. And it was just like, wow, it's very compelling. What may have taken place if they had it set up like a energy grid system, which I think they did.
I mean, it's pretty apparent that they set everything up like that. Like, look at New York, look at Chicago, Seattle, you name it. All these cities are set up literally like grids, straight streets, intersecting, right angles everywhere. And they have key buildings in the right places too, like state buildings, high energy field buildings. Like, you could compare Eiffel Tower in Paris to maybe something like what's that thing in Empire State Building? They're probably maybe not roughly the same height, but they both have incredible antennas on top of them that serve a purpose that they don't tell us about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So maybe we'll take a look at that later and see how it compares the whole idea.
Definitely.
Everybody's like, what happened? We just want to know what could have caused this. And for me, I think this totally makes sense, especially with it coming up from the ground, the heat. The way it would on a circuit board. It doesn't start from the top down. It starts from the grid up. And we see a lot of that in a lot of these fucked up brick buildings and stuff.
Oh, yeah, we do. But the thing that I can't explain is like how when I was at the arches there in Chester, how where the railroad tracks is, where the entire town is like essentially ground level, and the arches, the top of the arches was there, and the rest of everything else was
I can explain it.
like 100 feet down, but nothing had real scorch marks except those mountain ridges that I walked through on the advanced trail or whatever the F I was lost on for 2 hours.
Because if it is melted buildings, right? And it did used to look like this photo that I have here somewhere. I'll have to find it and send it to you, where everything is buildings, roads going through buildings and trains and everything like that. Like there's just buildings everywhere. And there's just so many levels down, you don't even see the ground and stuff like that. That maybe one of these tunnels or the arches and stuff that might have carried, say, a train at one time or other type of maybe a road that went into a building or something like that. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to go back to this other message and forward it to you, Steve, and maybe you can put it up.
Well, the funny thing is, at the arches in Chester, they talk about how some of them were used for railroad ways, but from what I can tell, only one has real evidence of railway use. The others I could see like little, horses with little carriages on the back, but only one of them, and it's the only one that still has railroads on them, because the other ones wouldn't make sense. They're too either narrow or they just lead into like just a wall, a wall of just, melted brick possibly. But so what did you send me here? Let me get out of this because I had the Oklahoma queued up, but that's okay.
All right, let me send you this one too.
Yeah, I could see something like that, but these seem like they're more metal than brick.
Right. I don't know what they did used in all these constructions and stuff, but if you want to bring that up, you can give me an idea of what we might be looking at here. Because, like, say, the Great Wall of China, Jerry was saying that could possibly be one gigantic building that was connected through a walkway on top of the building or at some part of the building. And there is another picture he showed the other day on our stream where it looked like a road, but the heat came up on either side, and it's like really long. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about, guys.
What is this?
This is supposedly a rendering of New York in the future. And this is somebody from the late 1800s, supposedly making up a sketch drawing of what the future would look like once it's grown and stuff into the 19th century.
First off, kudos to the talent.
Yeah. But I think this is actually what the old world looked like before all these buildings got melted. You see what I'm saying? It's everywhere. There's just buildings everywhere.
Well, and there's something you said there too that's very telling, is that this is a rendering from the 1800s of what he thinks the future would look like. Obviously, the building design is going to be stuff that he sees now because what he was seeing during his time. So the buildings that we see here that are supposed to be, these buildings look ancient in that term of how they tell us. So if this is the future, you know what I'm saying? Like they look ancient as hell. I thought it was an old ass picture, like from the 1500s.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, right? I mean, look at how many levels it goes down. You think that's the street level, but that's not. It goes down, 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 and there's things going in and out of all these buildings and stuff.
Oh no, I get that completely. I just don't get there's a lack of settlement in the middle of the woods. Let's put it that way, There's a complete lack of settlement. There's the only real evidence I had of settlement up there were just random
Did we lose that? Hello.
Hello?
Holla.
Yeah. Oh.
Hopefully he's still not talking. Steve, we can't hear you.
Yeah, if you can hear us, we can't hear you.
Let me text him.
But yeah, even because I know Pennypack Park.
Yes.
If you walk through Pennypack, you'll find random one or two old houses that were
or a
just
wall,
ruined. A wall, a chimney.
Yeah, a chimney.
That's the only evidence I have that somebody lived there one day.
Well, a lot of this stuff could be underground. Whatever buried this stuff, whether it was heat melting buildings into some sort of, dustification and it turns to mud. I don't know. But clearly, a lot of these buildings go deeper underground, and then some of the buildings are just completely melted. And you can actually see that they're melted. There's no two ways about it. The shit that I was showing yesterday on Jerry's channel was some of the most compelling evidence I've found so far on my own that these are fucking buildings, these mountains.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Am I here?
Yes, you're here.
Everything was like loading for a second. I was like, that can't be good. But yeah, it's just, I don't know what these archways are. It's just crazy how they're in the middle of the woods, but like I said, when I was out there, while I was walking on all of the dirt, like between like the arches in the middle of the woods, it was all like really muddy, and the part of it that was hard, you could jump on it and hear like an echo of your footprint. So it was indicating it was like hollow on the inside. So there wasn't much ground between the bottom and the layer that I was on. It probably would have gave through if I, was probably like 300 pounds heavier and just gave it a real good jump. But it's just crazy how we have land civilization on one level, and like, because those arches were like 75 feet tall, and like there's a whole nother world down there. There was water, trees growing up, and you gotta hike up
going down like some kind of steps you were navigating down the side of it. Wasn't there?
Yeah. That's what I was.
Your camera, I'm like, there's steps right there. Like you can tell it was part of something else.
I mean, they were steps for probably not humans, because I had to like really put the leg up to get on the step. I was like, because in the video you can hear me say, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't take these steps because it's a lunge. It's a big, it's a step for like a 12-foot man, a 15-foot man.
Yeah.
Who has knees that are like, because my knees are probably 2 feet away from my feet, probably. Yeah, because the bend you would have to do to get up there. He was probably 15, maybe 17 feet tall. The people who would take those stairs. It was just crazy, and it's all coming out of the ground, and all around is just blasted rock. Like that part did look like it got like scorched a little bit, but the entirety of the brick and the entirety of the arches untouched. It was just crazy, very crazy how it all happened again.
Yes,
and
sir.
it's located, someone in the chat asking, it's in Chester, Massachusetts, the arches. Maybe I should just bring that video up real quick and we could just talk over it, because it's relevant to what we were looking at before, because those archways in the artist rendering were eerily similar.
So while you're looking that up, Bobby, I have a question for you. Did you get to see the video I made, Eyes Without a Face?
Bits and pieces. I listened to it.
Okay, well, because you have to watch it because there's a lot of images in it that I stuck in there.
Well,
so I was wondering if you saw it or not, because that Billy Idol song was out in the late 80s and or the mid to late 80s.
Right.
And that's just like, it blew me away, just re-listening to it and reading the lyrics and stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to get that up right after this.
Every time you say Billy Idol, my mind immediately goes to Eilish. when you say Billy, the next thing my brain says is Eilish, and I got to keep like, that's not what she said.
You sound like you're programmed.
It's crazy.
What happens?
I'm like, get out of here, dude. Well, because like she's always being like thrown up on like YouTube, like recommended. I'm like, I don't listen to music on YouTube, so please tell me how it's recommended.
Yeah, this arch could be just a part of a building that's underneath and stuff, that it's not visible anymore. Look at that.
Right, and I'm just saying, like, it's crazy because, like, civilization's, like, ground level where the railroad is, it's all up there. Like, this is, like, where, like, shit was before, and, like, this is what I was saying, like, this is where it looks like shit happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the bottom there, it kind of popcorned out a little bit, but I mean, the more you go up, the more normal-ish it is,
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you're right. Maybe there was, like, from the bottom up here,
dude,
and then everything just sank in.
When you see this video of the grid thing that we're going to show in a little bit, whatever, you'll just mind blown. It just put so many pieces together that I had already had in my head anyway, but the guy put the video together really well.
Right. And this is where you're talking about the steps.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're on the way up or the way down, but yeah, this is just like something carved into the rock over here. Yeah, it's interesting, but where's the fucking arch? Yeah, look at those steps, dude. Like, who were those for, bro? Are you kidding me? Look at the gap between that. Like, you gotta do a lunge to get up there.
That's the one thing I want people to tell me, because like I think what Steve, think it was you who posted like the like Anunnaki, like Anubis looking statue.
Yeah.
I'm like, who, like, what? You see how big that thing was? Like, again, like these people, like they drew when they made what they saw.
Yeah.
It would make sense if it was like, you know, like something that was like 6 foot tall, you know, just a regular statue. But those Anubis statues are honestly like this big, bro. Takes time to make something that big. And like I said, in the middle of the woods, there's not hundreds, but there's like 7 or 8 of these arches, and they're all like 100 feet tall, 70 feet tall. The one I was at before was a little taller, but like Jerry said, look at all the fresh water near all of these like effed up buildings or what the event places. Like, this is the freshest water I've probably been in my life.
I have a couple of pictures of waterfalls I showed on his show yesterday of the water just coming right out of the fucking rock. And you could clearly see the popcorn brick everywhere, but yet they call it a mountain and it's a waterfall.
I sent Steve pictures a couple of days ago, like right before I went on vacation. I was working and I came to a red light and I just saw this thing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is this here? It looks like the top of a tower, but only the top of the tower is there. But it looks like if it were like fully constructed, it would look like the beginning tower of like a castle wall. I'm like, what does this thing do? It's just there.
All right. So what were we gonna look at next? Jen said she had pictures to send me.
Yeah, I'm sending you now. You should get the one right now, and then I'll send you a couple of more. I have to send them separately.
All right. I'll wait for them all to send, because if I just click on that one, I'll have to like refresh the whole page. So take your time there. But you know, it's just so crazy how there's like a whole like actual layer, like not like a metaphorical layer. There's an actual layer of hidden history that people just don't even give a shit about. You know, it's not in the book, so it's not real according to them. It's ridiculous, dude. Yeah. Like, it's an actual layer of ground, you know, and then underneath is a whole nother. You can have that's, you know, I don't want to say it, but that's my bug out zone. Something happens, I'm getting to the woods and I'm trying to find those arches. It's highly sustainable under there. Highly sustainable.
When was this published? June 2017 by National Geographic. Very, very reasonable people, right?
Oh, National Geographic. Okay, so check it out. I was telling you guys a while back about that movie documentary. It was a fictional documentary of American Blackout. National Geographic made it. I was saying it was some other channel. Anyway, it's banned off of YouTube. I finally found it somewhere on some Aknad channel. I downloaded it with the 4K downloader, and then I tried to put it on YouTube. And man, they took that shit. They just abandoned the processing and stuff. But I really wish we could put it up on a live stream. And we probably get taken right down. But if anybody can watch American Blackout, I'll put it on my Facebook wall. You better be ready for the lights to go out.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, it's really good. It's scary. Anyway,
that could be happening anytime now too. That's the sketchy part. That's where we are right now, guys.
A good thing to get is the glow sticks from the Dollar Trees. If you go into Dollar Trees, they always have the glow sticks that are like this long, and they'll light your house up for like 6 hours. Buy a shit ton of them. That's what I do.
Okay.
Throw them around your house. You have light.
All right, what do we got here, Jen?
Well, this is somewhere in India, I think. I forget what it's called. These are like granite mountains. And clearly, if you can zoom in on it, I don't know if you can or not, but that's a fucking building.
It looks like brick to me. I know the quality isn't there in the picture, but I mean, you could clearly work out little squares everywhere. And it's like, you know, when you cook with charcoal, people, like this is like the regular color of the charcoal, let's just say. And then when it gets burnt after you cook it, after you cook steaks on it or something,
It's white.
your charcoal might be a little white because it just got scorched. So that explains that. Obviously, we all know black means scorching too, but I think this means it was just a little bit hotter down there.
Yeah. And seeing those pillars there,
Look at
look
this.
how
It's falling.
it's melting right down. You can see it. It's dripping.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like this was a bottom up type
There's
deal,
holes
too.
everywhere. There's like probably riddled with holes in there. It's like all caverns and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
All right,
What do
this
you got
is
here?
a waterfall coming out of a mountain, which is clearly a building. There's better shots coming up, but you can see the bricks there starting to pop out and stuff.
Oh, you're damn right.
Yep. That's
Oh,
a
that's
mountain,
just,
guys.
those are just natural rock formations at 90-degree angles, Jen.
Yeah.
Don't get your hopes too high. I'm just kidding.
This water, where the fuck is it coming from? If there's no snow on the top of this thing, okay? So it's not some glacier snow-capped mountain that's melting.
It was built on a PowerPoint, you know, or a high-level point. Wow, look at that. Look at that. You probably get the illest shower just like chilling on this ledge right here.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at all that.
They were bricks, guys. They got cooked. They got cooked in the blocks and
Bricks in the woods.
the color for carbon 14 cooked out of it.
What do you got here, Bobby?
Ooh.
This is San Fran. I don't know how far down, but they found 250 ships, some shit like that. 200 ships underneath all the buildings.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You can see a piece of it there.
Wow.
Oh, right. That is a boat.
Now, I don't know how far down this is into the ground, but yeah, they found, I think it was either 50 or 200 ships that were buried under the ground underneath like of places.
Wow.
Telling you where water was.
Yeah.
That's nuts, bro. Right, where ground level really was.
Right, yeah, and where we've built on top of. That's the guy who collapsed. The greatest. This is so stupid.
Lapses.
96. What it also equals 96 in gematria. Mason, Freemason does.
Oh, yeah. Where's the video? Oh,
Hey, if you go down a little bit, that's about a woman dies in a shark attack off the coast of Maine. Maine sucks, man.
Maine, there's that fine I was talking about.
Look at all these.
There in Massachusetts.
Look at all these fucks. Oh, I guess you can't. Thank God she can't get COVID when talking.
Oh,
She can have the mask off.
right.
Watch this little loop video. That's how he collapsed. Ugh.
People are just standing around like nothing.
This is a guard of honor, and like there's a couple pictures of like people like attending to him, and I'm just like, it just looks like a photo op.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, dude. Look, up.
That's
No one
crazy.
reacts to it.
I know, that's bizarre.
Look,
Look at this guy.
he's like, oh shit, is it time? Oh, I guess it's time. All right, come on, boys.
Okay, the guy next to him don't move, but the guy other across the way has to come booking over.
Hey, you good?
That's nuts.
Oh no, I have to hold my camera. Human life
No.
doesn't matter.
Look at that building, though. That's crazy, though.
That's another reason why I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
But
That photo op was being taken by the people on the ground there who saw where he fell over.
yeah, he had a mask on too, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. All right, where are we here? So let me exit out of this. We'll open that. So, damn. You guys getting an echo or no?
Yeah. Little.
Okay. All right. Here, let me try something different. Let me put on the headset and see if that solves any issues. Plug it in. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll stick with that for now. It just sucks sometimes when I talk, it doesn't pick it up on here, but that's okay. That's okay. So I wanted to show this real quick too. Here, let me I'll share audio with this screen share too. So Richie from Boston showed this article that apparently I can't find because I'm not smart enough for some reason, but it's on PubMed. It's called 5G Technology and the Introduction of Coronavirus in Skin Cells. Doesn't that sound interesting, guys?
Yes.
Sounds like that 5G is going to give us what we said in the beginning would, mimic coronavirus. And that there's your spike. There's your spike along with the fake testing. So either way, they're going to get they're going to hit their number. Let's put it that way. That's all this is. It's like when you're in sales, you got to hit your numbers. It's crazy. I'm just going to hit play for a minute because Richie breaks it down. But let me just bring it back like a couple of seconds. We'll hit play. Oh, maybe a little bit more than
level and give you symptoms that they were claiming were COVID-19. Well, the reason they're dragging this out is this. You see this article from PubMed.gov, 5G technology and induction of coronavirus in skin cells. These are all the doctors that wrote for this. In this research, we show that 5G millimeter waves could be observed by dermatological cells acting like antennas. How many times have you heard me say barium, strontium, aluminum are exactly what you would use if you wanted to turn a living, breathing being into a walking antenna? Well, according to the doctors, 5G millimeter waves could be absorbed by dermatologic cells acting like antennas, transferred to other cells, and play the main role in producing coronaviruses in biological cells. DNA is built from charged electrons and atoms, blah, 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 blah. But long story short, you see this article right here? I've had this for a couple of days, but I wanted to get this article to show you first. These guys are going to keep stretching this out because they're not done putting the 5G up. Like I've told you, I don't know how many times. Do you know how I know this? Because I drive around the United States in a really old truck with a bunch of cameras, and I look and I look and I talk to everybody. It isn't up yet. It isn't up yet. So they're going to keep stretching this story out as long as they possibly can. So when they do flip on the switch and people do start getting sick, they can say, see, it's the coronavirus. It's not the 5G Antichrist system that's working with the biometric vaccine that we're forced everybody to get. You see where we're going with this?
exactly where we're going with this. You know what I'm saying? Just very interesting how they're saying that 5G is going to, on a .gov website, by the way, it's saying 5G is going to give you pretty much coronavirus. It's going to put coronaviruses into your skin cell. And it's very interesting how I type in PubMed 5G and Daily Mail confirms 5G does not cause COVID. That's nice. Medical Express report linking 5G to COVID swiftly debunked. Look at that picture. Look at that picture, my friends. Look at that. That seems like just utter death. Looks
Fun.
like trees have just gotten fucked. You know what I'm saying? Just very interesting. So they're going out of their way to debunk what we all know is going to be coming down the pipeline. They wouldn't do that unless we were right. It's like having your shit fact checked on Facebook. That means you should probably look into it a little bit more. Unless you're saying the sky is fucking, I don't know. I was going to say pink, but sometimes it is pink. Who knows, dude? Who knows what's going on? It's just very crazy. And then, where's this other website? Please hold. Yes, the Times of Israel. U.S. biotech firm, I don't know how to say it, Invio. Innovo, whatever, reports encouraging virus vaccine results, blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Yeah. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. The medication is injected under the skin with a needle, then activated with a device that resembles a toothbrush, which delivers an electrical pulse for a fraction of a second, allowing the DNA inside of their little needle to penetrate the body cells to carry out its mission. What does that sound like, people? That literally sounds like the Droid DNA commercial. That literally sounds like everything Nicholson 1968 has talked about. That sounds like everything we've been talking about over the past couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally going to inject something into your DNA to form around your DNA to allegedly protect you from COVID. No, that's to make you a beast, make you irredeemable, as Richie's been saying, because that's what's going to happen. That's the mark of the beast, transfusing your DNA, becoming something else that you're not. You come as a man, you die as a man. You can't do that there. Men will seek death and death shall flee from them. What do you think they're talking about, people? People have this misconception that transhumanism is uploading your consciousness into a computer or a robot. It's actually the opposite. It's taking the robot, putting it into a nice, fun-looking technology thing that we're all going to need, and inserting that into you to finagle your DNA. Get your 322. You know, I have 22 chromosomes. Jen has 22. The 23rd is only to, you know, she's a female, I'm a male. That's only what that's for. Everything else is identical. 22, 22. What's that third 22? That's going to be this, allowing the DNA to form that third 22 strand around your DNA. Literally what that freaking commercial shows. It's just so crazy. And then God will not be allowed to dwell in the hearts of men if they're not longer a man. If you're a beast, if you're tameable, if you have the technology in your DNA transfusing you into a genetically modified human, a cyborg, whatever you want to be classified as in the Transhumanist Bill of Rights, that's what you're going to be. That's what you're going to be. But that's my rant. So you guys take it away from there. And left the room.
That's my rant. You son of a...
I'm a son of a, but that's what they're going for, infusing their DNA technology into your DNA. They literally just said it there in the Israel Times, and I have a little hunch that the Israel Times actually publishes news that's beneficial for the viewer, you know, because it's Israel. They don't think that some American dude and girl are going to look at this, you know, because it's Israel. They're like, yeah, they do their thing over there. They're just the military guys. Like, no. Those are the guys that actually run the world, and they're not Israelites. They're not even Jewish, half of them, but that's another discussion.
Remember that rabbi, the supposed rabbi on the radio interview years ago talking about kids?
The McDonald's one, too.
I got a strike for that video. I got a strike for it, yeah.
That one, like, I showed that to people, and they're like, "Oh, come on, it's a radio." I'm like, "All right, cool."
They're like, "Oh, it's satire. Don't you know what satire is?" I'm like, "You dumb motherfucker."
Do you know what satire is? Because none of the comedy I ever grew up on was about grinding kids' bodies up and eating them as hamburgers at McDonald's. That's not comedy to me.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not cool, man.
You know what I mean? We drain their blood, their body's blood. We mix it with our Passover bread. Then we grind their bodies up. I'm like, bro.
We own the meat packing plants.
They own the media. You know, they own almost every. They own the banks. Like what? They own the militaries.
They own it all.
They own the religions. You know. And you know what the funny thing? You know what the funny thing is? There's people that are going around right now specifically trying to shame anyone who is a Christian because they're like, is a hoax, Catholicism is paganism, blah. I'm like, yo, turn it back a minute. When was the last time that me, Bobby, Jen, Richie, you name it, have been to a church for their, you know, for whatever they do at church? I don't know what they do at church, but they sure as hell don't worship God. Let's put it that way.
They're not allowed to sing at church because apparently, you know, singing spreads COVID.
You got COVID, dude, down there.
Is that really a thing now? That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, dude. The stuff that they're putting
salt water, chlorine, all all this crap kills everything, right? You know, and so does hot weather. But yet you're not allowed to go to the beach. You're not allowed to go out in the sun. You can't go in the water. You know, no swimming in the pool.
I just don't understand. Like in March and April, I vividly remember them saying that come May, June, July, August, no, don't worry about coronavirus because even though it's a dead organism, it can't survive in the heat in 85 degrees. But now it's, 116 in Phoenix, Arizona, and they're locking that motherfucker down like you read about. Like, it's crazy.
You know what a lady told me? I said this to her today at the store. She had her mask on, at the register and stuff. And I told her about the hot weather and, this fake virus crap. And she goes, oh, no, it's mutating. I'm like,
oh my God.
I was like, you're too
Well, you know what's going to happen, right? So once you get this COVID vaccine, so let's say I'm not going to. So let's just say that let's just say you get it, Jen, for some fucked up reason. I'm not, use you as an example because you haven't gotten a vaccine or anything probably in what, like 30, 40 years, right?
Yeah.
So once you get that, let's say you get the COVID vaccine, now you have to get all the vaccines that you missed and update yourself to the current vaccine list, and they're going to use that under the guidelines of mutations. That's where she got that story from. They're calling it mutations, but in reality, they have to update you. There's someone like you, Jen, hasn't got a vaccine in who even knows how many decades. If they put this into you, it's not going to work. But if they give you like all the vaccines that they would give some kid between the ages of 3 and 7, which that's when they really load them up, and that's where the autism usually comes into play. Yeah. That's they'll load you up with that, and then I have a strong thing that your body will accept that COVID vaccine, whatever, a lot easier. In my opinion, that's what I think they're going to do, and call it mutations. Like, oh, you need a mutation update. No, you just need to get up to date on all the vaccines you missed. That's how they're going to get people too. But they're not going to do that at first because they're going to start giving it to old people who've missed so many vaccines over the
No. First are the blacks.
Of course. I forgot. Bill and Melinda said they're going for the hood first. I forgot about that.
Cleaning up America.
Well, it's funny too because like where she also might have gotten that, it was, well, I mean, I read it today, so I don't know when it came out. But they're now saying there's 5 different strains of COVID out there.
5
different strains of COVID right now.
Any day now it'll be 6.
And I mean, they only have like 36 symptoms.
That's interesting.
Loss of taste and smell.
You your throat around people with no mask on, they get all sketchy and shit. It's like the fuck? Haven't you ever heard of allergies? What's wrong with you people? Get the fuck away from me. Anyway,
this whole thing took off in cold and flu season, so they just used that as a disguise because everyone gets sick around the new year because what happens then? The earth rejuvenates, everything dies and then renews. So why wouldn't our bodies do that if everything on earth has the Fibonacci sequence, if we're all technically part of the same thing? Yeah. God didn't make us out of thin air. He had to get some mud from the ground. You know what I'm saying? Do a little this, a little bit of that, and here we are.
So I just sent you the video of what's going on supposedly in Oklahoma with that pastor talking. I don't know if you had a chance to watch that, but this plays right into what you're talking about in the digital tattoo.
I did check that out with the buses and everything. That's intense.
Yeah, we need to watch that. We need to bring that to the surface.
No, yeah, we'll definitely check that out in just 1 second. Just having little difficulties here on my end. Hold on. All right. Let's try to set this up now. Did you want to do that? Actually, I got that other one, that computer chip one or whatever. Well, actually, we're talking about COVID. Let me just do this one now then.
We'll stay on topic.
COVID, yeah. Donna.
It's a Divock.
All right. And I mean, this guy, he was just talking in Oklahoma, but this is actually he referenced the whole United States here. He's talking to state troopers, not from just Oklahoma and Kansas, where the fort is that he mentions, but he was talking to states all around the United States, giving them the same answer. So it's not like this is just Oklahoma people. This is probably going to be a reality sooner or later.
Is that what he's saying is if you get caught at one of these locations where they're going to choke off choke points on the highways, if you do get stuck up in one of those, you're not going home anytime soon. They're going to take you away until you decide you're going to get this vaccine or whatever they're going to do with you. So people have to realize that, you could be just out one day doing your thing, get all held up in one of these choke points or whatever. And when they start pinching off the highways, like somebody like me, and, I have no way to back out, no way to go around or whatever. When I get out and start, I'll have to huff it on foot because they're not going to take me away anywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'm going to hit play, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No sound.
No sound. Now we have sound.
Love to see it.
In the article, I know you don't reveal your sources, but I'd like you to elaborate about the metal shackles they're going to put on the wrists with the computer chip. And maybe, Catherine Albrecht, you can add to that comment.
Unfortunately, I believe one among several plans to ensure that the government's edict of mandated vaccinations, and by the way, the state of Oklahoma last week passed through its House just such a law for the state of Oklahoma and its residents that everyone will be vaccinated in the state of Oklahoma. Now, having said that, there are also plans that will ensure that you do not freely travel, nor will you be able to really go anywhere without proof that you have had the vaccination at the point that the government mandates that certain levels of the population take the inoculation. When that happens, I have been told by state troopers across the country that there are plans ready to be implemented that would include roadblocks and choke points, as we call them, major interstate junctions around major cities and so forth, where the greatest number of people can be held until they are either.
And real quick, I just want to reiterate, that's why they want to adopt this new Chinese way of living. It's not just the digital system. It's not just the communist government. It's city stacking people. They want everyone in these tight, confined areas because you can be contact traced much better. You can be surveilled better. They have a better chance of getting you in the city than they do someone out in the woods where they can just, hop in their backyard and not be seen for a couple days.
Yeah, and Agenda 21 maps, which show the little spots where the cities will be less than 10,000 people.
They're beat. They're absolutely beat. And there's no coincidence that living is a lot cheaper in the cities, at least up here, than it is out in the free open land. Well, quote unquote free open land. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Alleged. But let's get back to this video here.
They either prove their vaccination by papers or, in the case of a medical specialist in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who told me that they had observed a semi-tractor trailer being unloaded at the hospital loading dock, pallets and pallets, scores of cases of metal bracelets that once put on would slip into a place and be either pegged in there with some kind of device to hold it in place, but the band was meant to be permanent.
So, yeah, there's that part. And this is where I'm going to say just one more time, anyone who hasn't seen the show The 100, check it out while you still can. Not for entertainment purposes, because it's actually kind of corny for entertainment, but to see a glimpse into the future, check it out. Check it out.
On top is a chip. That chip will include all kinds of information about you and the fact that you have been inoculated. Now, this is one of several plans. It has not yet seen the light of day, but it is there. It's in readiness. You choose the poison. It's either slow homicide or slow suicide. They're either going to kill you with the injection, or if you go up and say, sure, I just want to be able to go wherever I want to go, and you take it, to me, that's virtual suicide. It's slow motion suicide. So we've all talked about not getting the vaccination, that's clear, but you may not have a choice. I am told that the plans include buses that will be standing by for people at roadblocks that refuse to take the inoculation. The people will then be escorted to the buses and taken, as I was told in the state I was in at that time when I was speaking to the troopers, you're going to get a free ride to a nice warm bunk at Fort Riley.
That's Kansas.
Well, it's one of several plans. We can't know until they're implemented, but I assure you that those plans are in place and law enforcement is going to be pulled in. And one of the articles I wrote, I said the law enforcement community will enforce the New World Order. There will be many that will not, and that's good news for us. But I believe it's still a majority that will be standing in line saying, get your shot or get on the bus. That's
Bust it up, boys.
I was on the short bus in middle school, and here we are today.
I lived too close to be on any bus. I was on my mom's bus.
Oh,
I lived
there you
about
go.
7 blocks from my high school, and I lived 8 blocks from my middle school. So I mean,
Not bad at all.
and I don't want to call anybody out.
Call
But,
them
like,
out.
For people who see this video or hear this information, then they say things like, "That's illegal." The Constitution. That's just a piece of paper, dude. That's just a theatrical prop.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna write. I'm gonna write my congressman. Well, how do you think that worked? 1940 for the people living in like Poland or Germany, like, you know, I'm gonna write the SS and tell them I want my rights back. Like, it didn't work like that, you know.
Under a state of emergency, they suspend all that anyway, and they can implement whatever they want.
Of course. I mean, the cookie jar guy, he gave the country over to FEMA, and nothing was ever said about that. And then less than a week later, the Secretary of Defense gets on stage and says we're in a live exercise. What? And then I know it's a separate note. I find out a couple weeks later that Steve Mnuchin, the Secretary of Treasury, who doesn't know how to sign documents, apparently, he's he's a movie producer.
Yeah.
He's an executive producer.
Now
Imagine
think about
that.
it.
He was the executive producer for Batman versus Superman, one of the most flagrant, in-your-face, like anti-God, anti-Christ, transhumanist, you name it. It's all in that movie. He forms a golem at the end, the bad guy, Lex Luthor. He forms a golem out of like mud and soot, and it's terrible. It's terrible. And then Wonder Woman comes from the clouds. But the one interesting fact they put in that movie, it's a fact, by the way. He says, Senator, you know, the Lex Luthor creepy guy, he's like, Senator, the oldest lie is that angels come from the sky. You know, it's actually the demons that come from the sky, which is not a lie in that statement, because where did the fallen angels come from? You can't fall upwards.
Mm-hmm.
You fell downwards. And if my theory is correct, that I don't think 33% have fallen yet, a couple more are going to come down. A couple more might come down, and that's what we're probably seeing with the Neo-Wise and all these SpaceX experiments and whatever they're claiming in the sky. You know, with the ejector pilot looking thing, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He produced a lot of movies.
So
Yeah.
what I was going to say about Stephen Mnuchin, we did a whole thing about him not signing his name. He printed his name on the bill, the currency.
He's a robot to me, real quick. He's a robot.
So since he became Secretary of Treasury, everything that's been printed under his term, which he still is Secretary of Treasury, every bill printed has his signature on it to validate it. It's a legal tender. It's a legal document. It has to have a signature on it, just like your check. Our money is worthless. They know we were going to go digital. They know the money was going to be worthless and they were going to be getting rid of it. Hence, no signature on the money.
Yeah, let's just see if I had a couple dollars around here, but I don't have any bucks up here. I got a couple $1 bills, but these are from people who actually signed their name, so I don't know who they are.
Let me see what I can find.
Right, and then we'll see if you can get 2 of them so we can show the difference. I don't know if you heard that.
So he's produced like Annabelle,
No,
American
are you kidding
Sniper.
me?
Yeah,
Oh my
Get
God.
Hard, Mad Max Fury Road.
What
The New
about
Vacation,
what about that movie?
Suicide Squad?
Oh, no way. That's kind of
Mhm.
strange. What's that movie that it looks like he's even in the movie?
He's produced.
Angel Has Fallen.
Yeah, he's also produced Sully with Tom Hanks.
Oh, of course. Him and Tom are good friends.
Central Intelligence with The Rock and Kevin Hart when they were in the CIA.
Of course. I mean, they got to get someone to get a little information, you know?
Kids movies like Storks, Lego Batman,
Damn.
King Arthur.
This guy, he's such a loser, dude. He looks like a robot, dude. Him and
This tells you.
Zuckerberg. Did you guys see Zuckerberg's picture the other day with the
Yeah,
alleged sunscreen?
They said that he put too much sunscreen on.
Allegedly. That's just his Westworld little, like, milk face or whatever coming off.
I got one.
What do you got?
I got $1 bill with his name on it, and then I got a $1 bill with an actual signature.
How do I make you bigger? This is different now. Hold on. Oh, I got it.
All right, so over here. Yeah, okay. So Stephen T. Nunchin, and that's not a signature. This is the old secretary. Let me go this way. That's a signature. Sorry about my nails, guys. I was cleaning and doing all kinds of stuff. So that's a signature clearly. This is
something you write in crayon as an 8-year-old.
Yeah, look at that shit. He printed his name. It's not written.
That's crazy. I haven't used cash in so long.
Well, dude,
you know, COVID's on there. I don't want to get sick. You know what I mean?
Oh, all the checkouts at Walmart, the self checkouts, coin shortage. So it's all cards now. You have to actually get in line with a person to use cash. So all the checkouts, self checkouts, and everything, which is all I used to use because I don't want to talk to none of these freaks. I want to check out and just get the fuck out of there. Now I got to actually deal with one of these fucking idiots with a mask on.
You know what I think?
I got a whole bunch of cash here, and I can't fucking, it's like, what the fuck's going on here?
Got to get the exact change. I was going to say, I think the reason that Munchin just signs his name the way he does without any cursive or validity to it is because, like I said, I really think the dude's just like an AI bot or something, or some like real life, like silk skin, like Sophia, but like obviously, because they came out with Sophia and I laughed at it. It was creepy, but I'm like, they had that 10, 15 years ago. What they have now are skins. I call them skins. They're just metal on the inside, and you could not tell the difference on the outside unless something happens. Like Munchin, he stands there and blinks all the time with his hands just in his pockets or just down straight. His head just moves left and right. He's weird.
Yeah,
and I think that whatever programmed him didn't program cursive into his algorithm. That's what I personally think. He can only write regular.
Yeah. But now we know why they stopped teaching the kids cursive, because they're not going to need it. They're not going to go to school. They're going to have a virtual school, and everything's done on the computer. You don't need a pen and penmanship when you're, everything's digital. So it's all coming together.
I think that the kids in the future aren't going to know what it's like to go outside without socks on, touch a tree, get a splinter from some tree bark, play around in the rough.
Trees have COVID. Your animals. There'll be no pets. There'll be nothing. We're not going to have anything that you consider comforts of, like DD says in his song. You're going to be missing the shit that you had.
Well, we are, but the new kids aren't. They're not going to be introduced to that lifestyle. They're just going to go right into the AI, right into the digital, right into the virtual. You know what I'm saying?
Have these vaccines, as soon as they're born, they'll be chipped or nanotech or whatever. It's going to be part of their shots.
There's going to be a price to pay for that, man. There's going to be a price to pay for that. It's just intense, man. And then you have Paul. Paul's a legend for that video the other day. I actually mirrored a little bit of it with the screen recorder on my phone, just like the real, like important parts of that, and shared it on Facebook. And, I hope it reached the right people, because bringing something into this world right now, into this meat, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yanking a soul from non-existence into here right now, I don't feel like that's the best choice you could be making. And unfortunately, I know a couple people in my personal life who eyes weren't open in the time of whatever you want to call it, but now that they are pregnant with something inside of them, they're texting me with all these questions and concerns, and I'm like, well, if you listen to me with that conversation we had a couple months ago, where I said it may sound harsh, guys, but we're at the point now where, for our self benefit, I believe that we should stop reproducing. For the self benefit of humankind, not to damn any more souls into this just meat, this just rawness that we have going on right now.
Do you think them keeping us in the way they have had to do with something about getting people to make more babies? So there's this whole new generation of kids that are going to be born within the next, 6 months or so.
Well, yeah, that was part of the plan, because all those kids, remember, they're going to be called Generation C. Bobby showed me that. It's disturbing. It's disgusting.
Yeah, well, they also had a big campaign between 2014 and 2016 where schools were like teaching their kids in sex ed, like, get married, have kids, but have no more than two. No more than two, only two. And it's just like, why two? Like, why so? Like, what if I want to have 6 kids? I should be able to do that. But they're like teaching their kids.
That's how it is in China. They tell you exactly how many kids you can have, and you can't have any more than that. I mean, we are moving totally into a China way of life. It's happening right now in real time. We are being conditioned to comply, because the American people aren't used to complying to all this crap. They have to be scared into it or have some sort of a reason for it. But nonetheless, it's happening no matter what the cover story is. And
of course.
They're acclimating their kids to it. They're getting us to create with our own children the generation that they want to have come up and perpetuate all this bullshit.
I mean, it's just crazy how all these parents are like, why are my kids a bastard? Why are my kids so like this and that? It's like you fed them right into the belly of the beast, the schooling system. The parents are the teachers now. The schooling system is the parents. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. But maybe we should take a quick break, and I actually have like a decently lengthy. I don't want to play the whole video, because at the end the dude starts going not like left field, but a little off topic. So we've shared it before. I don't know if you guys remember. It's called The Second Coming of Christ, a video Richie did, like, I don't even know, like 4 years ago. And I think Pastor Lawson is in the second part, but whoever is in the first part, I don't know. But it's just words that we all need right now, because what is happening is kind of unavoidable at this point, and we really can't turn the ship around, because if everyone listened 4 or 5 months ago when we were screaming from the rooftops, like, we make a lot of videos now, Jen, but we were doing nightly live streams trying to just get more people awake, and maybe it did work, but not to the extent that I like to see. So we're kind of in a rock and a hard place right now, but we have to just bear through the storm. Just bear through the storm, and we'll get our reward at the end, the reward that these people are not going to get by getting some sort of cell DNA update, whatever the Israel Times is talking about. That's bizarre to me. That's bizarre. It's the news. That's not SteveJMO.com. That's fucking the news, people. Are you kidding me? Ridiculous. Of course, we have a YouTube survey. You love to see that. All right. We can deal with that. All right. What are you saying, Bobby? You wanted to say something before we go on break?
Did you see that thing? Like, because I have the TV on mute over here, and I was watching like a crime show or something, but it's on the USA Network, so Monday Night Raw comes on.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah.
Oh my God!
And his new logo on t-shirts is like the Jesus stained glass, but it's him instead.
It's like that dude, the UFC guy who was going around quote unquote baptizing people, but in reality he was just kicking their teeth in.
Yeah. So, and he's a heel now, so he's like, it's just a mocking of, he's the Monday Night Messiah.
It's ridiculous, dude. Anything to get a jab at Jesus and the Creator through WWF and WWE.
Or he's also the guy who shows up to, like when he's in street clothes, he usually has a Baphomet hoodie on.
Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous, dude. That's like Vince McMahon going into the chapel that one time and literally just, I know like church is pretty much a mockery of Christ anyways, but he just he did it even harder. Let's put it that way. He went in there, he took the holy water, put it in his mouth, and did the Triple H thing, and then they Shawn Michaels' partner was God, and they had the light just shining down the runway. Just ridiculous stuff. And he got his ass kicked that match too. There was that was like one of the most brutal matches to watch. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just so like that's why like I still keep like I watch like I don't have the it's muted. I don't want to hear anything just fucking morons gotta say. But just I always love finding out their little things that they do and just put them on full blast.
Oh, of course, we would have never found the Abaddon chick from that other wrestling network without
AEW.
you.
Yeah,
easy as that. You know, the only deity in the Bible like said to be the king of the bottomless pit, not just like the dude who hangs out there. You know, like I got a 5-year sentence in the pit. Like, no, this is the king of the pit. He's gonna come up with these like effed up horns and whatever, dude. It's crazy stuff. Whatever, right? I don't know. You name it, he might have it. The man of many names could have many things. You know, it's going to be an interesting time when that happens. And I think that's when you're going to see that quote in the Bible come out: men's hearts will fail them from fear. I think some of those hearts are going to be the people who brought that thing into our reality. They're going to be like, yo, you didn't tell me he looked like that. You know, I think there's going to be a little bit like that happening.
Here, like good old fucking Seth Rollins over here on Monday Night Raw. He like these people think they have like some kind of like throne next to like Lucifer and Satan that they're gonna like rule with him. Newsflash: he's going to turn heel on you, and all yous are getting fucked. He just needs you now.
He might keep you around as like a goldfish.
Yeah, if you're lucky. But like he needs you now. Like I said, like like I said, like I believe they're like in the elites. Like there's like a portion of them that like they're just sick fucks. Like they might not believe in like say Lucifer, but they partake because they love the money and the power it brings them. And then there's the other half that know exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it. And but those people still believe that like yeah. When this is all said and done, we're right next to them. We'll be ruling the world. Okay.
I think that there's a very small percent in that percent that this whole time since they've been growing up as children have been second guessing what they've been doing their whole life.
Oh, yeah.
I think that they're going to be highly mortified. And I think those people might be slick and just get fake COVID vaccination identification things, you know, because I think they might know exactly what's happening and they want no part of it. You know, some sort of little like unseen hero type deal, but
they're not getting it.
I don't think it's not. I think a lot of them are. I think a lot of them have already gotten it. Look at fucking
like
people
Clintons in them.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna get it. I think it's one of those things where it's like, you know, they tell us to do it because it's good, but they don't do it.
Well, I think those are humans. I think those are things that look like humans, the Clintons. At least Hillary. She doesn't need a vaccine.
Bro, she'll die with a vaccine, bro. She'll explode.
Well, what about the little theory that a lot of these elites that are like politicians have that like Nephilim blood in them? They don't even need this. It's not going to be a vaccine, obviously. It's going to be something to manipulate their DNA. But if their DNA is already in the bloodline, they're not going to get it, you know? Mm-hmm. But I think the dudes who are like, you know, like CNN anchors that are doing anything to push the agenda, they're obviously going to get it. They'll probably be the ones to get it on camera, like Alice Cooper. Be like, see, trust it. You know, me and Ellen DeGeneres just got our vaccines and now we're with each other, you know? It's going to be something like that, man. Something like that. But, you know, actually, we got to pee, so we're going to go to break.
Go.
All right, go. We'll be right back, guys.
What lives in the unseen zones not seen in between those without flesh or bone? Roam in the void, they avoid all detection. Interdimensional beings all connected. Angels and demons demons from spiritual realms, engaged in a battle from heaven to hell. They dwell all around us and even inside some of those that invite what they call spirit guides. Enticed by Ouija boards, they seek guidance and think there's a secret to be enlightened. Little do they know what they just invited. A demonic presence has just resided. In the days of Noah, all kinds of hybrids infiltrated the earth, but most were silenced, wiped out by the flood. All these tyrants, bloodlines polluted by these ancient giants. Some men of renown, heroes of old, have now returned, let the truth be told. They wear no disguises, Thoth and Isis are now aliens come to invite us and guide us. The fruit is ripened, it's so inviting, evolve to a God enlightened. And don't be frightened, but I must ask why their ideas seem aligned with Lucifer's lie. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything, stalking and prey with original sin. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything, stalking and prey with original sin. Is it coincidence that all these incidents represent all the same thing the serpent said? Look at Genesis chapter 3 verse 6. It depicts exactly the same conflict. Yo, this trick inflicted by the sick and wicked, invented, presented like a light transcendent, but it's dark demented. They just pretended, depending on beliefs, what you just expected. See how a rose has thorns and thistles? They hide among the truth to avoid the signal. They muddy the water with disinformation, persuading so many without a foundation. Some people like to listen to Ike and Sitchin, Jordan, Maxwell, and Tessarian. It seems these people are on the same mission. Deny what's Christian, seek secret wisdom, tied to the lies in the movie zeitgeist. Lost, they deny the existence of Christ. I defy you to find any truth to the logic. Go ahead, just rewind it and pause it. Study their sources, they're all Masonic. Elite Illuminati seem to be behind it. They know the public will buy any fraud that tries to deny the existence of God. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything, stalking and prey with original sin. This song serves as a warning to anyone searching. Demonic minions are lurking and virtually everywhere, posing as anything, stalking and prey with original sin.
Literally anywhere. That's what they're doing. Putting the idea of original sin into everyone's minds, into everyone's subconscious. And that's what they want. They want to achieve immortality one way or another. And it seems like they're taking the route of science and technology, which we all know is just alchemy and black magic with a K.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
It's ridiculous. They don't even care anymore. They like when we talk about the externalization of the hierarchy, this is what I'm talking about. Kanye West getting on Twitter or some media outlet saying that the mark of the beast is going to be the COVID vaccine, which is a valid, true statement, but they could have had, if they had Elon Musk do it, Gordy Rose, or, someone who the public sees as legitimate, that could have been a slight dub for us. But they had Kanye do it, the guy who gets pulled off stage all the time, has been bankrupt, bailed out, owned by the Kardashians, all this
He's
other
in the
shit.
hospital again.
Of course, he's probably going to come out with blonde hair and fucking blonde eyebrows again, like he did last time he had a mental breakdown, allegedly.
He was shopping in a Walmart with red hair. Like, what is Kanye West doing in a fucking Walmart? Okay.
Bro, his mind, I honestly think like his mind is pudding.
I don't know what happened, bro, but yeah.
Like shock therapy.
One too many times, but like every 2.5 years he goes back into for rehab.
Yeah,
wow.
Reprogramming is what it is.
It is, dude. Because the last time he started freaking out was like 2 years ago. Remember, he was going after the music industry. Well, no, before that, I'm talking like the last time he really had a breakdown.
Hey, radio.
He was taking shots at Jay-Z. He was on the stage talking about the music industry, how people owe him money, and all this other crazy stuff, bro. And I was like, damn. And then Kardashians say he had a mental breakdown. they induced him into the hospital because she's technically married to him and can make that type of call, I guess. And he came out a couple of days later, blonde hair, blue eyes, literally talking like Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Something happened to that man. He wasn't wild anymore. He was like, hello, my name is Kanye West. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want to take a picture.
I'm a righteous man. Some bullshit, people.
His
So
weed is mush.
I sent you the video of Alien Ant Farm's music video, Smooth Criminal. Staying on the topic here, I just wanted to get it out of the way. Like I said, this just came up in my search after listening to Beastie Boys. And I wasn't expecting to see this. I wasn't looking for it. I look up and I see a kid dancing on the screen with a fucking mask on from 2001.
That's ridiculous. Here, I got it right here. Let me pull it up.
Like I said, it's raw. I didn't edit it. I just wanted to get it over to you. I wasn't trying to be making a video right now or nothing, but yeah, let's check it out. Pay attention. Now this song came out, I don't even know, it doesn't even say the date. But it's been quite a while. Like 2001 years now since this has been out. Pay attention to what I just saw. This just happened to come up on my screen. The next fucking thing in the play suggestion thing, and I'm looking and I'm ready to turn it off. And look what happens. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
That's nuts.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's.
That's still nuts.
I know. I was just like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, I didn't even look. Nobody else has masks on, just this kid.
Look at that.
Dude, why would he have a mask on and all those people over there sitting around?
I can understand if it was like a bandana and he's like trying to be gangster,
you know? Fucking mask, a medical mask. That was tripped me the fuck out earlier. I was like, no.
That's incredible. Like, why would that be a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's nuts.
There's no
That's
reason
nuts.
for that. There's just no reason for that in the video at all.
No, that's crazy though. Damn. 2001?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And I was smart enough to know that that wasn't their original song, so fuck them.
Yeah, it's a remake, but this is, when this video was out.
2001, yeah. That's so long ago. What, just like...
I was 6 years old.
Did Michael Jackson wear one in that music video for him?
Oh, yeah, he's another one who always wore masks and stuff. Yeah, wow. He always had that medical mask on. That's crazy. Supposedly, he had his nose worked on every other day.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, that just like the Snapchat filter for the last 5 years. Put the mask on.
Or how about the other Snapchat filter that makes everyone babies?
Oh, that's creepy. Dude, I did the one that makes you look like a man, right? No, check it out. My son had the Snapchat thing up. He's like, Mom, look, it'll show you what you look like as a man. So I did it, and I looked just like him. I said, Chris, it's you. And then my mom did it, and she looked just like my son, Ryan. It's crazy.
That's crazy. That's funny you say the baby one, Bobby, because I got a new phone today, and I had to go through all my old photos I didn't want anymore, and one of my boys sent me a dumbass picture 6 years ago of one of those pictures with the baby and his big ass face on it. I was like, Jesus Sage, man.
Did you guys there's so much there's so many things I've been sending Steve since on vacation. But you guys heard about for safe sex during COVID, you go to the good old glory hole?
Glory hole, yeah. How stupid is that?
Sanitary.
The globalnews.ca
the global
the BC Center for Disease Control suggested using a barrier to limit sexual contact during the COVID-19 pandemic. Try glory holes for safer sex during COVID.
I went out. I'm done. I just want out
Go
of
to
here.
a glory hole.
I told you, man, it's getting weird. Like the Bible talks about right before the end days, everything happens like bang, 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 rapidly. And then you're here,
Yeah.
Then John's like, hey, I wrote a book. I'm going to take you through it. Good luck. Here we are, two seals in, I believe, but
And
you
then
never
that
know.
fucking $20 bill with the mask on it. That's no accident. I mean,
It
people are
could
like,
have been on the
"Yeah,
5,
whatever." And I'm
could have
like,
been on the 10, but it had to be on 20 because of 2020 on each side.
Jesus.
That threw me for a loop, man. That put me down for like 2 days. I was sick to my stomach. I was just like, I couldn't even talk. I was so upset. I was just like,
Remember.
Yeah.
I remember, dude. They're going full force. That was like that dude who had that song, fucking, what do you say? 2020 coronavirus equals body stacking. Like what?
2013.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I hear, like I was telling you earlier, I hear that inmates in Massachusetts have one job and one job only right now, and they're making disposable, like fireproof body bags or something along those lines. Could be fire. Something that lights up quickly, or it could be fireproof. I can't quite remember, but either way, they're making body bags in Massachusetts state prisons right now.
Oh, I got some. I guess breaking news.
Break it up.
They are in the final phase of the COVID-19 vaccine study.
Oh, dude, I just asked that a little while ago.
Yeah, it was published 4 hours ago, but
where was I with that? I had it somewhere.
NBC put it out. The one I'm seeing.
Yeah, no, I had it queued up, but I don't remember where I put it.
30,000 volunteers will be recruited. That's a weird word for.
Where the fuck they getting them at?
Well, I mean, your typical Karen is like, give me the vaccine so I can get back to normal. And when they do get to this point, just like the mask, if you're wearing a mask, why do I have to wear one? If you took the vaccine, then why are you worried about me walking around unvaccinated?
The people who have had it, supposedly, aren't they immune? I mean,
Yeah, there's 5 different strands of the COVID, Donner.
COVID. I saw it on
talking like my fellow Pittsburgh. Do you ever listen to people from Pittsburgh talk?
Mm-hmm.
They don't finish words. Donner. You want to go Don? I can't stand it.
Hear my dad talk with his like Rhode Island accent. It's terrible. It's you want to go get some water. You go down to the shore, play some fucking basketball, brother.
In the garage.
Yeah, I'm like this guy, dude.
I used to go to Providence to visit my grandparents when I was little.
So
they used to
I have
always
a couple.
I talk.
If I have a couple drinks, I start talking like that too. So if you get me like plastered, it'll just be like a full blown like English accent. I'm told. I don't know, but that's what I'm told.
I have my son when he was real young, like 2. He would say, "Dad, let's go down to the water. I want to see some crabs." I said, "What?"
I had to train myself not to say water. I've trained myself to say water.
It's so tough.
Well, people didn't understand me when I moved to Florida, and I'm like, water, and they're like, what's water? Like wood? Like water? It's water.
Water. So this guy in the article, his name is John Penman in the article. He's 24. He's from Omaha, Nebraska, but his face mask is the Maryland state flag, so whatever.
Okay.
Penman, who found out about the trial through an advertisement on Facebook, said he was motivated to volunteer because some of his family members are elderly and therefore at a higher risk for complications of COVID. He said he worries about health every day. This research study is something I can do personally to benefit not only my family and my friends, but also humanity.
Oh,
this guy's doing it for all of us. Thank you so much.
That's
Joe
mad.
Penman. John Penman.
That's crazy, dude. That just reminds me, like, when this all started off, dude, like, I had one of my friends. Well, she's not really my friend anymore because of all this. One day I was like, hey, you wanna give me a haircut? I'll slide you $10. You know what the response was? I'm not risking my life and my grandmother's life for your hair. Sorry. I was like, oh, this fucking pole up my ass then. Like, nice.
Having a safe and effective vaccine distributed by the end of 2020 is a stretch goal, but it's the right goal for the American people.
Says who? Ain't nobody telling me what's right for me. Thank you very much.
NIH.
Good people.
Great people.
Great people.
Of health. What is it?
I close it. What is it? What's the NIH again? What's it stand for?
Institute of Health. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. National Institutes of Health. I'm pretty sure that's a Mandela effect, but I don't know it. Because it seems that it would make more sense to be the National Institution of Health, but National Institutes of Health, because there's more than one, I guess, even though it's a building. But you know,
right, like the Centers for Disease.
What's up with them? Like, what's up with the whole S and no S thing? Like Revelation.
I don't know. These S's are going somewhere. Maybe it's from the.
But then they're adding S's other places.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
Centers for Disease Control. Like what?
It's like the
somewhere.
So odd.
In math, it's like in math, you just carry the S. You know.
You do. It was formed in 1887, by the way. The NIH.
Now you carry a tree, not a cross.
Right. Holy macro.
Like, did he walk a tree up this hill? What's going on here? No, there was one waiting there for him. Well, what the hell did he carry up the hill?
What's this?
Oh man.
Outdoor light linked with teen sleep and mental health.
Outdoor light? What? Outdoor light's bad for you now? You can only have the blue light shining in your face.
I'm not reading it.
Is that what they're calling sunlight now? That
outdoor light.
That pesky outdoor light. You don't want any of that stuff.
Oh, they're word magic. I tell you what, they're playing it to the hilt, man, with all this shit. It's all word magic. And they're casting spells left and right.
Oh, yeah. That's why, like I said, like if I ever do have TV on, it's muted. And I just like look over at it. But I usually just read stuff. Because like I said, like the tones and music they use, that's another part of the casting that really, because like those low tones get you scared. They get you afraid. And if you're watching CNN all day, like when you wake up to dinner, to laying in bed, and you hear all these low tones, you're in constant fear all day long. And like EMFs can actually, like if you're exposed to too much EMFs, like if you're standing in like like when you're putting your clothes in the washer, and then you have the fuse box next to you and the bulb lights above your head, they call it the fear cage. EMFs can make you hallucinate, make you hear voices, make you see things that aren't there. That's why a lot of ghost stories come from at the washing machine, because it's all the EMF. So imagine all the power lines running over your head.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby, real quick, let me interject there. I don't think they're hallucinating. I think those waves around them are letting their whatever force field that we have around our body at all times to tap into other realities and see things that we wouldn't see. I don't think they're hallucinating. I think they're seeing exactly what they're seeing.
You know what's funny? I I did one.
A hallucination wouldn't wrap itself around you. I'm just saying from past experience.
Fact,
you know
I got you there. But I remember one time, like it was a couple years ago, when my friend told me, she's like, you should meditate. I was like, okay. So I started like meditating to like tones and stuff. This probably 5 years ago.
I tried that too. It was sketchy, but you keep going.
Well, like in the beginning, it was a guy talking, like listen to my voice, and then like I'll go away and the music will take over. So I was like, okay. So I'm listening to him talk, and he's taking me through like relax and all that shit. And like halfway through, he stopped talking, and it's just the music, and I started like falling, like I don't know if it's sleep, but like in and out, I guess, of complete relaxation. And I heard a woman say, "I'll be his guide," and I jumped out of my bed and I rewound it because it was on YouTube. I rewounded to hear if there was a woman talking, and I literally listened to the whole 3-hour video, and there was no one else talking after the guy. So I don't know what I heard, but I heard a woman talk, say, "I'll be his guide," and I just jumped.
I would have been like, "I'm good, actually. I don't need a guide."
Never did that again.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what that is. Roaches?
No, man. Special delivery. You can see it. Oh, if you can smell this. It smells so good. It actually smells like blueberry.
What is that? Mushrooms?
No, man. It's
come on, dude. It's green.
I just had a
it looked like it was like brown and white on my end. I was like, damn, she's got a fat bag of mushrooms, bro. She's about to be the guide.
This is loud. This
She's
is
the
loud.
guide.
This is like, crappy
Oh,
stuff.
that's that gas. Yeah, that lit.
Yeah, I just had a delivery. I had to run down and get it.
It's okay.
Oh, good. You don't have to explain yourself at all.
You're fine by us.
I hit my guy up today actually, and he was like, "Nah, not yeah." I'm like, "Come on, you mother."
Dude, it's dry up here, right, bro? It's dry up here in the north.
The COVID, dude. The COVID's affecting the weed downtown.
How, dude? It pisses me off. All I can find is like bush weed for like Hetty's price. I'm like, this is not what I'm looking for.
It's so dumb too. But like another thing too, I don't know if you guys been getting these, but I've been getting a lot of invitations on Facebook to like quote
every day
truth groups. And like I'll join them, like, oh, this looks cool. And then like I'll read like a whole bunch of good. I'm like, oh, this is some good stuff. I can use this. And then like the fifth post in is like Donald Trump, the drainer of the swamp, and I'm like, what? This is a truth page, and you're sitting here boasting about how gangster Donald Trump is and how great he is.
Did you see his titty sweats today?
Oh, stop!
I tried not to look at him.
Oh my
Bobby,
God!
You all know about Arizona?
Thing? Is that what he was doing? Because he is a woman. He's doing the wet T-shirt thing.
Yeah, you know.
People are outraged because there's so many new outbreaks in America for coronavirus, and Donald Trump is playing golf with Brett Favre today. And I saw a picture. No mask. And all you see is this dude's like his like nipples just like soaking through his shirt because they're so wet.
He's lactating.
Oh,
No, but
gross, bro. It is. It looks like a cookie jar. It's disgusting. He's orange and baggy.
Slime.
To answer Jennifer's comment, no, I don't know about Arizona.
Arizona has a mandatory vaccine law that's like just on the shelf.
It's all waiting to be implemented.
Already.
Title
right here.
36,
I was looking at
787.
yesterday, I think.
Yeah, but I'm high.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
So
going for
Oklahoma
it.
already
They're
has
not
it?
hiding.
And Arizona is thinking
Oklahoma.
about
Yeah.
Okay.
They said it. Did they say it passed? He said it's not in place yet, but it's on the shelf, just like
where in Arizona?
Well, yeah, just like the COVID guidelines that Trump pulled off the shelf that Obama put in play that came out of Massachusetts that was put in place by another black political man by the name of, wow, his name escapes me right now. Who's the first black senator? He was in my state, Deval Patrick. Deval Patrick developed this plan to lock everyone down, give it over to FEMA, mandate vaccines, mandate. Jesus Christ, don't do that in my earphones on. Jesus Christ. Oh, I just jumped 7 feet. If I don't have my earphones in, it sounds fine, but with them on, like these are like gaming earphones, so it catches everything, and that
So
like comes out of the back much.
All right, so in Oklahoma, it passed through the quote house down there, so they're ready to go. Oklahoma
on the shelf, yeah,
on the shelf, but it passed though, and they're just not putting it into effect.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
Arizona, did it pass and it's on the shelf, or is it about to be through?
That I'm not sure. I would assume it's on the shelf by now. I mean, they're allegedly getting hit. Jennifer,
if you can.
She said Arizona.
I keep saying Jennifer. I try to say Jennifer to distinguish between. If you can, if you know more, if you can put it in the comments so I can read it, because I'm way too lazy to Google it.
They're all getting set up with these, orders and edicts and stuff. So when they're ready to kick it into high gear, it's already in place. They just implement. The vaccines have always been ready to go. It's just they have to play this out to get people conditioned to buy it. Look how serious it is. They shut down the whole world. It must be real. What are you? You're crazy thinking this isn't real. Look at all the stuff that they're doing. They wouldn't do this over a lie. You know what I mean? It's like the bigger the lie, the more the people believe it.
You know what, dude? When this first broke, I don't know who said it, but it was probably like between you, Steve, or Brian. But one of you said
good
that,
culprits,
right? That this is going to be bigger than 9/11. This is going to like dwarf Pearl Harbor.
That's so weird, bro.
9/11.
I was just thinking about that conversation 2 days ago. Me and Brian and you had that conversation. Jen was probably here too, but it was, because I remember I had Brian's intake on that. He's like, because he's the 9/11 guy, you got to give him that. Out of everything, he's the Mandela guy too, but like before all that stuff, he was the 9/11 guy. And when I did my awakening with him, just a sidebar real quick, I found out that in high school, I got questioned in high school because I was on a 9/11 conspiracy website about no floors. Come to find out, it was his website from back in the day. So we had this little connection from back then as well. It was mad weirds, but that was in like 2012, 2013 when I graduated. So he's been talking about 9/11 for the longest time. And the biggest part he hits on was the psychiatric state of the public after 9/11, and that what they did the first time was definitely equivalent or higher, because everyone was in that fragile, broken state of mind, and once they lock it down again, there's gonna be another Floyd-like event, and then they're gonna lock it down again. In my opinion, when it's gonna be, I'm not a date setter, but I think, or it's gonna be locked down and then that happens. There's going to be two events. We're going to lock it back down, and then something's going to happen before or after that to bring troops into the street, and then we're going to see exactly what we've been talking about actually start playing out, unfortunately. I hate to be that guy, but I see that coming, unfortunately.
And it's been coming for a long time. Like, we're going to show here in just a little bit whenever you're ready, Steve, the video from Billy Idol, which came out in like the mid-'80s. And I grew up with this song. And it's all over this song, Eyes Without a Face. And, especially at the very end of the song, it says, such a human waste, your eyes without a face. And now it's getting worse. And it's just like, wow, it's always been right there in our faces. They sung it a million times. But until you have the new eyes to see, 2020 is hindsight, or hindsight's 2020, however you say it. I'm smoking weed, so I talk backwards. But, so that's pretty crazy.
I do that sober. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I seem to mix the words backwards, when I get a little buzz on.
Well, imagine that being reality, and you have to read 30 tickets at a time. It's interesting. It's interesting. Let's put it that way. It's there's actually no cheese on that burger. Oh, okay. I
can't even read when I'm high anyway, so the reading's out the window.
The higher I get, or the more drunk I get, the better I get at things. Like when I was in a band, I would get plastered before I went on stage, and I would play the show of my life.
Nice. Of course, bro. That's how it works, unfortunately. That's because when you're in that state of mind, you're not letting anything back. It's just full emotion from that point on.
No, but full confidence, too. You don't have any, worries and stuff. Like, oh, am I playing this right? Do I look okay? Why is she looking at me? Who is she?
Well, that plays into letting your emotions out. If you're 100% confident, don't give a shit about what people are going to say. Let it all out, and it's usually something worth listening to at the end of the day. How crazy that sounds, because I'm from Springfield, Mass. Everyone has a little rapping phase around here, and I never did anything, but we would back in the day when we were all doing bad things, we would do a bunch of blow and just freestyle, and I was quite good. Only when I did that, though. Other than that, I can't really read or write without difficulties happening. But
so
give me some additives, and we'll just give you a whole song. And off the top of my head, it's weird. But we don't do things like that anymore on the Steve JMO channel. So
I have a little rap for you.
I know you have the good rap that Sweeze did, or do you have a different rap?
I'm gonna give you one right now. This is from back in the day. All right, here we go. Ready? I'm Jennylicious, soft and delicious. I might be sweet, but I'm also vicious. That's all I got.
That's all that's needed.
The bars.
Bars, dude.
How was it? It sucked too bad.
It's way better than Fauci's first pitch.
Thank you.
Was he wearing number 19, or did someone Photoshop that in?
Actually, it just popped up on YouTube. I'll go watch it.
Please watch. I want to find out before we play this Eyes Without a Face video. And by the way, Jen, this has been like tormenting me for the last like 5 days. Like not
You're
because I
welcome.
wear a mask, but because I see everyone just all I see are eyes
Yeah.
without a face. It's fucked.
I know. That's all I keep saying. As a matter of fact, I pulled up at a drive-through the other day. My husband wanted me to get him a little something at the fast food place around here, and the girl had her mask down on her chin. Beautiful girl. And I even said to her, I was like, it's so nice to see a face instead of just eyes without a face. I said it right to her because it was stuck in my head. And she was so nice and sweet. She kept it down around her chin. And we had a nice little mini conversation real quick. And I was just like, you know, it's nice to see smiles, see people, you know, expressions and stuff.
Yeah, dude, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to suppress that from all of us. It's crazy. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Did you find it, Bobby?
Yeah, I'm sending it to you. He wore 19.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
I thought it was a fake fucking picture. I shared it, but I was like hesitant. I was like, fuck it. I'll probably get pissed on later, but
Let me see here.
I gotta love it when I'm not wrong.
That picture is from NBC Washington. So,
okay, so.
But then he goes to, you know, his seats and he doesn't wear a mask.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get this. Right. So this is the picture I did share and I did see. Beautiful.
There's
So
another one with the lady next to him with her mask hanging off of her ear, and his is still down, and he's looking like towards the field with his phone. So it's not like that first picture where he only had it down a little. So yeah, I mean, this guy is he's a piece of shit. And there you go, 19.
AI. COVID-19.
COVID-19 down there.
COVID-19, mate.
I love it, dude. It's so funny because it's so like obvious and it's so in your face that it's just like, like it's now to a point where I'm like, how aren't people like? You have to be going out of your way not to see it now at this point.
They are. They really are because they're afraid to. Everything that we talk about threatens people's way of life right now.
Yeah.
And they're afraid. They're afraid more than they are anything else. And fear leads to chaos. Chaos leads to violence. Violence leads to death.
And they
want
to believe it's going to go back to normal. They don't want to hear the ugly truth of what's actually coming.
Understandable, though. Humans are built on hope. You know, we have it in our subconscious the whole time. Like, believe me, I would love to see something happen where all the bad people go away, but I don't think that's going to happen. God didn't come in and intervene and take Jesus off the cross. You know, he died and he came back. He went, you know, he spent 3 days down in the belly. He told all the fallen angels that you cannot have this realm. And since then, they've been tormenting us, the fallen angels, because, you know, they can't have this realm. They want us to just blatantly worship not God for their benefit.
They hate humanity. They hate God's creation. They always have. This is part of the reason why they fell and left their lofty places and came down and made it with women. It was the worst thing that God said, do not do that. And they did it. And they want to take humanity away from God and collect all those souls for themselves so they can torment and torture them for eternity. That's all they're going to do with the souls is just torment and torture for eternity. There's no relief. We read you the 9 circles of hell.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, you know, because for a while I was thinking that maybe at the end time, Satan's going to use this place as a bed, you know, be like, hey, look how many people I just turned against you. Can we just chill here and you can go away? I think that time has come and passed. I think that was the plan. Once they put Jesus on the cross, they were going to be like, look, you just sent your boy down here. We diced him off. Let us have this place. But in the 3 days that Jesus was, you know, in the other realm, let's put it that way, he went downstairs. I think he confronted these fallen angels. I think he confronted Lucifer and all of the hierarchy down there and said, you cannot have this realm. You cannot, this is not going to be your place. This is my place. This is the place of God. And the real fun, and the thing is about that, it's now now that they're, because he came back, he resurrected, that wasn't part of their plan. So now they've been doing a plot for the last 2020 years allegedly, and the plot is just to turn everyone against God and use that in their final battle, I guess, because there's no other way I could see that working out for them, because they already tried the bid plan, I think, and it didn't work out because Christ came downstairs, said, no, it's not going to be like that. I'll give you this land, but it's going to be the lake of fire, unfortunately.
Yeah,
you can have that all you want.
No, it said where Jesus stood and blew the gates off of, I think it might have been the city of Dis. And they even mentioned that. We read about it.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It is. Because for a long time, I was under the impression that in the end days, Satan's going to use this place and all the souls he damned as a bid. But I think that I think that time came and passed when Christ was resurrected. He went downstairs, told them what's good. And since then, they're like, okay, we're going to deceive everyone on earth and give, because obviously God wants all of us to come back up to heaven, but if we never get a chance to understand his ways and, read the gospel and, understand that there's a higher power, there's not going to be a place for us to go. Yeah. And that's what they want. They want to bring us in the lake of fire with them. It's about bringing us down with them. Now, it's not about using us as a bid. It's about let's say you're, doing something and say you're hammering in a nail, you're making a table with someone and you hit your own thumb and you start blaming it on the other guy and you take him down with you, and then you didn't get it done on time and you blame him. So you guys take the pay loss and it's his fault, but you broke your own hand like a dumbass. That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to be like, hey, he told us it's going down, so we're bringing y'all motherfuckers with us that don't listen. That don't listen to people like Steve JMO or simply the Bible, because I'm no one special. Bobby's no one special. Jen's no one special. Bobby, Richie, Brian, all these people, we're no one like really, really special, but something that is really, really special that's been going around the cycles for I don't even know how many years is the Bible. Yes, it's been tainted. Yes, it's been worked on. Yes, it's been manipulated. It has 66 books. That's not a coincidence, but it does give you an outline on how to live your life. You come as a man, you die as a man. Don't take any upgrades, and you should be good to go. Because other than that, they're just going to bring you down into the fire.
Yeah.
They're not using us as a bid. They're just going to bring us down with them.
You heard the sounds of hell. It doesn't sound very happy down there. And they hate us. So the more they can drag to hell with them, the better for them, because they feed off of our soul energy. We'll be trapped and they'll just feed on it forever.
Yeah, and you could hear that thing like laughing down there too, because they think it's going to be funny, because they're like, yeah, we've spent eternity here in the fiery hell. What's the lake of fire going to be? You people have no idea what you're getting yourselves into. Shame on you for listening to us. Ha, ha, ha. That's what it's going to be, It's just going to be torment on torment on torment. Men will, hope for death, but death ain't going to be around no more. Mm-hmm. Once you get the DNA vaccine that whatever they were talking about in the Israel Times, we'll bring that back up in a minute, but let's play Eyes Without a Face before we get any further down the rabbit hole. And one more
Pause it. Where it says, don't call me on the phone to tell me you're alone. That's social distancing.
Yeah, it's easy to deceive. Yep. It's easy to tease people into wanting the vaccine.
And then it's hard for us to get released from all this crap, because we're all being netted in together on this. I could be driving down a fucking highway and find myself in some fucking FEMA camp somewhere because I refuse to do a vaccine.
Yeah, or you didn't have the right papers.
Yeah. I'm definitely not going to have the right papers.
Count on that. Same here. So, are they saying eyes without a face in another language?
Yeah, it's French.
Oh, of course, of course, of course. Okay. Just a real quick thing about France, since it's on my mind. That used to be the old prime meridian, and from there it is 33.3 degrees east would bring you to Mount Hermon, by the way, and that is 2012 nautical miles, like the Mayan calendar. But I just make things up, so
You're just an asshole, Steve.
with a laptop, damn it. Let's break that down. I spend so much time believing all the lies. All the lies. It's like this guy was just like making this song for 30 years in the future, it seems. Somehow, some way, you know. To keep the dream alive, now it makes me sad. To keep the American dream alive. And, well, now it does make me sad because the American dream was nothing but a fraud in reality. It was a dream based upon a money-based monetary system that you're a slave for. For your entire life. And it does make me sad, honestly. And sometimes it really does make me mad at truth. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I really kind of wish I didn't look into all of this stuff, but knowing what I know now, you know, you kind of, I don't know how people don't look at this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And we used to love the way it was before. Like, before I learned all this stuff, I had no thoughts of anything political or anything going on in the world. I was pretty content going off, eating dinner, having fun, going on dates with my husband before we got married and stuff. I had no care in the world. And then I came upon all this stuff. And it was like, holy crap, you know? I used to love the way things were. But at the same time, it's an ugly truth. It's not a beautiful lie. And the truth is ugly, but it frees you from so much once you wake up to everything. And then it becomes beautiful in the end.
Exactly. And then this last line here, for loving what was you. Could be a shot, you know, talking about like Christianity and, you know, what was the truth? What was the word? What was God and Jesus Christ? I'm just speculating. Could be pulling this out of just, you know, left field. But, you know, the times we are in now, that's what it's shouting to me, you know?
Yeah.
Because we're going to start getting in trouble for believing that sooner or later, in my opinion.
Can't wait. Let's do it.
Right, bro. I've been saying that for like 3 months now. I'm like, yo, just stop holding the grenade. Just pull the pin. Just pull it.
Get off the pot already.
Right. Like, I'm tired of waiting, you know?
I'm tired of rotating cans out of my fucking pantry.
Go get some more cans. So there's an aluminum can shortage. Yeah. I don't know if you heard about that. And it's not just affecting, well, right now it's just affecting beer, but sooner or later it'll be affecting the canned good industry.
Oh, yeah. There's no coins and there ain't no aluminum. We're just going to take everything away little by little by little. Promote scarcity.
Eliminating all metals so that gold will one day be worthless and all you can rely on are Bitcoins.
Silver went up to like $25 today.
Oh, I've been watching silver and gold for a while now, and I think it's just climbing as high as it can because it's just going to drop one day.
You know, I try to wake up some of the clerks at the grocery store about that. Like when this first broke and I got all I wanted was a carton of eggs and it was $7.
Yeah, dude, that's why we shut down the restaurant. It was $112 for a case of eggs, which are normally $20. But continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. And I brought it to the front because I didn't even realize the price. I just went there, grabbed it, and I was going. And she's like, "All right, it's $7, whatever plus tax. It's like $8 something." I'm like, $8. And I said, "I was here like a couple weeks ago. This was like $2.50." And she was like, "Well, because of COVID." I was like, "What? Because of COVID, chickens aren't laying eggs? Like, I don't." And then she was like, and like I was trying to like get like hint it like, so you're telling me a global pandemic, quote unquote, is the reason why there's less eggs? Chickens are like scared to wear a mask or inside.
Yeah.
Like, what? And she just goes, "Oh, well, I'm just."
What's the word with Lucifer? Because of Lucifer, everything's shut down. Because of Lucifer, there's a coin shortage.
But like you could see her like in the moment of us talking, she started like going, "Yeah, why is there a and then all of a sudden it just snaps back to, "Well, I'm just a stupid little cashier. I just scan things. I don't really know, And then she's like, "Anyway, $8." I'm like, "Damn, that was a quick switch. What the hell happened? We were having a good conversation there, and all of a sudden you're like, anyway, I'm just a stupid cashier." Well, all right.
That's an NPC.
Yeah, that reminds me of the Mandela update this guy took at my old job. And he just passed away a little while ago. God rest his soul. But it was actually the anniversary of JFK. It was 11/22, which is 33, obviously. We were talking about the JFK thing. He's like 75, 80 years old, and I'm like, "Richard, how many people you remember in the car on JFK, when he got shot?" He's like, "There were 4 people." I was like, "Hold that thought." Went and got my phone, show him the picture. The dude blinks like 3 times, looks at me with the straightest face. He's like, "Well, there's only 4 people in the car that mattered." I was like, "What? What?"
I think, okay, nothing. I thought maybe we got cut off or something. We're still going.
Yeah. Did you miss all of that?
No, I heard everything you said. It just looked to me on my end like the stream ended or something.
Oh, did it? Let me see.
No, it looks like it's still going.
Oh, I still got 66 viewers. Ironic.
Sorry for that. I apologize. I didn't want you to keep going if we were cut off. We've done that before.
Oh, for like 10 minutes one time.
Yeah. It was really good conversation.
It was the best part. Right in the meat, of course. But all right, let's get some more eyes without a face going. This is actually a banger, by the way, but
God, it's so bad. Duck hepatitis B.
Say your prayers. Say your prayers.
Why would he say that in a song like this?
You know why.
Well, I know why. But even as a dumbed down guy, like, it doesn't even fit the rest of the song.
All right, pause it. That's the part that gets me every time. Now all I can do is love once what was so alive and new. Because life was like a box of chocolates. It's not anymore. Now it's just fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's gone from your eyes.
It's just so crazy.
I got goosebumps. I cried when I made this video, guys. I cried making this.
I bet I get goosebumps whenever I listen to this song in my car now. And then I just look at all the people at my job and all the people coming in and all the people outside. And everyone at supermarkets and gas, you name it. I'm like, yo, I'm like literally eyes without a face, people. I'm like, what are you doing to yourselves? I'm like, get your humanity back, you know? Don't let them take the planet back, you know, because that's not going to be a good deal.
Yeah.
Not going to be a good deal, you know? Then the Deagle report talking about how fucking, you know, the U.S. population is going to be missing 225 million people by 2025.
Please
Like,
let me be one of them. Please let me be one of them.
I feel the same thing, but I'm one of those people that like I need to see stuff. I like to bear witness. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
Like this is one of those things that like I would love to see through, but I feel like beyond. I feel like something beyond my power is gonna just end it one day for me, and I'm gonna be like, bro, I wanted to see that, you know? Because I'm one of those people. I don't really take that last like warning sign too well. I'm just like, I gotta watch this. I'm like, y'all can run for the hills, but look at this stuff. Because a couple of years ago in a kitchen I was working at, the entire oven caught on fire, and me and my buddy, the other cook, we were literally watching the gas line melt, and we were like, we just told everyone to run for their fucking lives, and we just chopped off the fire extinguisher, and there was probably like, I don't even know, like 1/100th of an inch of metal left between like the gas line and the fire by the time we got it out. Like it was nuts. Like probably like 30 more seconds, like I would have been blown through a window. It was crazy. It was crazy. Just nuts. I don't take the warning sign too seriously sometimes, but you know, I wasn't going to let the fucking restaurant blow up, dude. There's like 30, 40, 50 people on the other side of the wall that were going to get plastered as well. Oh, it was ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. But all right, I'm going to finish this out, all right?
Why would you say, and now it's getting worse?
I would.
I got chills up and down my arms right now, even on my legs. I'm not even joking.
I'm not right now, but I'm right with you. I'm right. I don't know. For some reason, like if I listen to like the high quality version of the song, the acoustics like hit my ear better, and then I just get chills down the spine. But it's just so crazy because let me bring this back another couple of seconds here. Or eyes without a face, got no human grace. Your eyes without a face, and it goes into such a human waste. Your eyes without a face. And then he whispers, and now it's getting worse.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
That
tells you the mask, the next step is going to be worse because the next step's coming. We're right there. We're about to just plant our foot right into that next step. It's right around the fucking corner, and people need to get ready. They need to get right in their heads because they're going to line their fucking kids up for this Lucifer fucking vaccine.
Yeah, it's just like I said, excuse me, for people who didn't know, you know, I got my old job back, and there's a bunch of old buddies who still work there, and we were just catching up, and you know, a couple of them are like, you know, whatever, but 2 or 3 of them are like intellectual, you know what I'm saying? They didn't go to school or anything, but they got the common sense, and they obviously know right from wrong. And I was like, yo, Kyle, you know who the idol is, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, you ever heard Eyes Without a Face? He's like, nah. I was like, after this shift or on break, go in your car and listen to that and tell me why this man says, you know, eyes without a face, you got no human grace. You're such a human waste. Your eyes without a face, and now it's getting worse. He was like, what do you mean? I'm like, look around. What do you see right now? And he just looked at me with like the palest face. I'm like, eyes without a face. Look at that. I'm
Dude.
there. The palest face, eyes without a face.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
ridiculous.
then I think of that fucking $20 bill with those eyes without a face, with a face mask on, masking
Yeah.
the faces. That they're masking us. That's a masquerade. And Lucifer likes to come in. If anybody's ever seen the movie, I think it's called Labyrinth with David Bowie. There's a part in that where she ate a peach or something. It had some kind of drug in it, and it made her all like go into the spirit world or whatever. And she was all in this masquerade, and everybody had their masks on, and she's getting all twirled around and turned around and stuff. That's chaos. That's confusion. That's what Lucifer's causing right now: chaos and confusion. And then the next step is, he just swoops in, because nobody's thinking clearly. Clearly, they're smothering themselves. So that's poor judgment right there. That's a sign of hypoxia. But never mind that. They're watching TV. They're not thinking clearly. They're in a state of fear, which is right where he wants us. So he can just swoop right in, him and his minions. And people will have that promise of normalcy back, and we'll be the ones who are trying to stifle that normalcy by not taking the vaccine. So they're going to turn it around on us and bring us be the enemy again. Just like in the beginning of this whole thing with the mask, and people are still getting bullied about it and stuff. It's going to get really bad then.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And someone in the chat just they said the word guillotine, and it reminded me. I'll find the video at some point. But Richie from Boston, he just made a video a couple days ago. I don't know exactly which video it is, but at some point in the video, he shows that on the CDC website, it shows capital punishments for not going for the mandates, and guillotine, beheading is one of them. And then it brings you to the Bible verse. Well, in the Bible, it talks about God goes over the land at the end of the days and is pretty upset because he sees a bunch of his followers' heads everywhere. Imagine that. That's just a coincidence, that's just going to go on the shelf that I got to re-nail to the wall for the 100th time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's draconian measures. That's for not wanting to be injected with some kind of poison that they want to give us. It's not a fine or going to jail, which is horrible in itself, but it's death. That's the penalty, death. It's the most extreme. You know what I mean? So they're going to make it seem like clearly they're serious. Clearly it must be something good for us because they're willing to actually cut your fucking head off if you don't take it. You know what I mean? People need to really understand that this is a spiritual battle. And it's manifesting here in our physical reality. And we have a choice that we're going to have to make at some point. And if you haven't gotten right with that in your head and your heart yet and talk to your family about it, you got some stuff to do. You got some work to get done. And time is short. There's just no two ways around it. You can't sugarcoat it anymore.
No, you really can't. You really can't. It sucks.
But all sucks. This has to happen, though. This all has to come to pass. And, so the story goes, we win in the end. So there's that.
I'm with it. I think we do win in the end, just not here on Earth. That's what people have to understand. People are afraid to die for some reason. Maybe it's for the reasons that me and Bobby talk about all the time. They think they're not worthy. They think they're not this. I've been a shitty person my whole life. Well, you're talking to the scumbag of all scumbags right now. I used to not be a good person, but yet here I am, every chance that I get throwing out videos on truth. I've been into reading the Bible more. Granted, I haven't even come close to finishing the book because I'm just not that type of reading guy, but the parts that I have listened to, I've taken some serious mental notes of, and I look up in reality and I'm like, why is that like this? And why is the book of Enoch telling me about things that are happening right now? It's just interesting. It's just very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But here, let me try to find this. Ooh,
definitely mocking at the end of that song. He's like, look at you. You're such a human waste. Look at you people. Your eyes without a face. Haha. And now it's gonna get worse. I just felt so hearing that, and how many times I sung it over the years and stuff. It's just wow.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. All right, so hold on. I think I found where I have to go for this. Please hold.
We got 59 people here. Hello, everyone. Bobby, you still with us? Bobby went.
Yeah, I'm just like
Flabbergasted.
I'm
Yeah.
going through it right now.
See, because you didn't watch it before. You listened to it a couple of times. You said you were doing your thing. It's a whole different story when you watch it. You know, it was tough to make that one. Let me tell you, it was tough.
There's that, and then there's the picture I sent Steve during it of the underground military bases and stuff.
You know what? Here, I'll put that picture up.
That's so
real quick.
crazy, man.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Let me put this picture up while I try to find this. Can you see this? Is this on your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to try to look for this over here real quick, okay? Give me 2 seconds because the CDC literally talks about guillotine, so give me a minute.
This is like one of the tunnels they built.
It's massive.
Do you see how small the people are?
Yeah.
For this tunnel? And they have these. This is like part of that map we've worked on a couple times with all the lines of all the tunnels that connect from like California all the way over to wherever.
Yes.
They're called DUMBs, by the way.
Yep. Deep underground military bases. I went down that rabbit hole about 10 years ago.
I love it. I just never seen it. I never seen this picture before. I've seen pictures of it the inside.
A long time ago, I found pictures of that somebody let loose on the internet. It got taken down the site, but it was pictures from the maglev train and the different stops and stuff, and different pictures on the walls and everything, and like the wording and all this stuff. Man, I wish I still had those photos. Yeah, they're like leaked out or something.
They're so crazy, like how big that tunnel is.
That's all the earthquakes and stuff we get. It's them fucking, building these tunnels underground. It's like they blame it on fracking, but it's them tunneling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, those people are tiny.
It's so crazy. And then like I'm looking at this picture while the song's going, and I'm like watching that too, and I'm like, what? And then like that video too, like.
God knows what they're doing with these deep underground bases, and there's a lot of them. And it's like they're like massive, they're like their own little cities and stuff under there. I mean, they can do anything they want, create anything they want. They can have a whole clone army down there. I think this is what the protesters are, like the Hillary ones and stuff.
It's literally like Bane from Batman. I've been saying that for weeks. Remember that, Bobby? Everyone was just underground fracking, having their own. They had their own military down there. They had everything down there, and they laced the entire. I don't know about you guys, but there's non-stop construction everywhere: bridges, overpasses, underpasses, rotaries, just street paving, you name it. And what did they do in that movie? In all the major city of Gotham or New York City, whatever you want to call it, but it's just a play out for every major-ish city. They laced the concrete and all the construction shit with explosives. So one day, some dude with a trigger, boom, there goes the city. Boom, there goes the city. So it's just very, very crazy.
Yeah.
I think I got this right here. So give me one more second. It's just it's crazy. That's all I can say. /
It's just like I love it. I love it so much. I can't wait. I can't wait for all of it to. I mean, if I'm alive, to see it all come crashing down.
Oh, you will. I mean, we'll be alive to see the beginnings of it. I don't know.
I mean, me and my mouth, I don't think they'll keep me alive very long. They'll just better off killing me right away because it'll be the worst time of their life.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the CDC has a solution for you right here. So they got this thing called the ICD-9CM, and I guess ICD is some different like website, the ICD data. I don't know, but it's funny how we go down here, right? And stopped at 2011. That's 9 years ago. Let's read the 2014 one. Very interesting things here. Very interesting things here. I'm trying to get it all on one page, but I don't think I can do it.
How very Nazi of them. By gas, huh?
By gas. Imagine that.
Capital punishment.
Ah. Yeah.
Hanging, poisoning, shooting, or other specified means. Beheading by guillotine.
And so what did we see like about 4 years ago on YouTube that we can't find anywhere on the internet anywhere now? All of those fucking guillotines getting moved into DC, getting moved into other like FEMA camps. But those are debunked by Snopes now, thankfully. So that's good. That's good stuff. But yeah, this is just pretty much ninth revisions, clinical modification based on World Health Organization's blah, blah, blah. I'm not really too sure what the ICD-9 is. Here, let me just click on this. International Classification of Disease, 9th Division. Okay. So apparently if you don't believe their classification of diseases, you're just going to get fucking diced. You're just done, dude.
All execution performed at the behest of the judiciary or ruling authority. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be good, guys.
No. And see, you can get the 2016 one over here, but if you go to cdc.gov, it only goes to, let me go back a page. It literally only goes to 2011. So they don't really want you to know these new plans. And, just for ha-has, let's, what is this technically called, this page here? These are the diagnostic codes. So let's see what 2016 has to offer. Oh, a lot.
Diseases of digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, disease of the ear, eye, nervous system.
Respiratory. That's weird. I don't know what all that is about, but
it's COVID.
It's bloody COVID.
I'm sorry. These are the 2020 ones. I'm sorry.
Even better.
Even better. And all of these things are like
go back up.
All of these things are like 5G fucking whatever you call them.
I thought that said adrenochrome. I was like, excuse me.
Where?
Endocrine.
Endocrine.
I'm dyslexic. I can't find it.
So if you start pronouncing the word disease correctly, and we start saying the dis-ease of the eyes or the dis-ease of the nervous system, the dis-ease, because we're saying it like disease, like it's where when you feel healthy and fine, your body's at ease. When you have something wrong, like a kink in your neck, you have a dis-ease. So people need to understand that too, because people are thinking of the word disease in a whole wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
This whole thing is to put us at dis-ease.
We are in dis-ease right now. Yes, we're in the city of dis. This is what we're talking about?
Exactly, and that's why the Transhumanist Bill of Rights classifies anyone who doesn't want to achieve immortality. You're classified as a disease because you'll be putting yourself at dis-ease by not being, a mortal being essentially who wants to live and die like a regular person. Or
you'll have a disorder or disguise. It's always dis, and this is what we were talking about: the city of dis coming upon us, or hell coming on earth. I feel like we are at that level in hell now, where we're at the city of dis, because everything is dis-ease. Dis-ease is everywhere. The word's being used so much, and then there's discord, discordia, disappointment, disagreements. It's disrespect, dissolution, disgust, all this different. It's the city of dis. This is where we're at, guys.
Without a doubt. That's undeniable. That's undeniable. It's coming up, or I don't know what's happening. Too
Well,
many
I
things are
always wanted
happening.
to bring hell on earth. To bring hell on earth is to bring Lucifer upon the earth, and we're getting closer and closer to that level where he's at. This is the 5th level down, and
He's on his way up.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Very interesting.
We're going to go over that. We're going to do a whole show on the city of Dis, maybe on my channel. Maybe next we'll get some stuff together. I'll have to do some more research and specifically focus on the city of Dis down the next 4 levels after that. And that'll probably take a good 2 hours.
Oh yeah. That'll be a good show.
Check out the picture I sent you, dude.
Is that what that little ding ding was?
This is my new favorite one.
My cat's in the background.
I saw this, dude. That's literally what's happening.
I love it so much.
How do I screen share? There it is.
There
Where's the kitty? Oh, there it is.
Hey.
Black kitty.
He just came in. He was out front. There he is.
BLM, baby.
No coincidence, guys.
I also saw a post that like there's intersections that in DC that create the pentagram. I also
the incomplete one, but yeah.
That's where Black Lives Matter is painted, like on one of those streets in between.
Oh, does it complete the pentagram?
I have no idea.
We should check that out because that thing takes up the whole street.
Shit fucking quarters if it does, bro. I will. I'll go eat a quarter and poop it out in an hour. Come on. It better not connect the pentagram.
Hold on, let me get the picture I was looking at to see if it's
some
real.
quarters then. Are you kidding me, bro? That's ridiculous. But before I lose my train of thought with Bale, never forget, guys, that Ba, barium, Al, aluminum, the 2 most commonly found compounds in chemtrails. Oh, no, we don't. Just go out. Just go outside on a cloudy day. It's there. It's there. These people with Moloch, like that's the most like messed up stuff I've ever read. How they sacrifice children to Moloch. They get the feet burning brass or actually on fire, and they just toss the kid in. Imagine that. Imagine being there witnessing that. Like, what is that? That torments. That turns your soul black.
Yep.
Black.
Absolutely.
Thank God I've never made any choices that have led to that.
Like I said, man, like when I was younger, not that I was into anything like that, but like I'm so glad to be awake now because like all the high tech shit, I would probably think it's so cool.
Oh, I'm right behind you, bro. I'd be the first one to get those VRs for like Call of Duty or something when I was like, if I was 14 right now.
Oh
Steve,
yeah, dude.
Jennifer sent you something there in the chat. Something about the guillotines.
Please hold. What do we got here?
Jennifer says X99.9 is the guillotine code. I don't know what that means, but
neither. But let's try it. What is it again?
It's lowercase x 99.9. And she said that's the guillotine code. I don't know what that means, but
those ICD codes we were looking at?
Maybe.
Oh, shit.
Son of a bitch.
I heard they were buying these guillotines back in like fucking 2010. That and then all the coffin liners over there in Georgia and stuff. I mean, I've watched all this stuff. All the FEMA camps near train stations. They're going to shut down the railways. All these, blacked out window buses and all this shit. I mean, they've had the infrastructure ready for a long time. It's just a matter of them dropping the hammer, and they're dropping it.
What's 999?
I mean, come on.
I know. I'm just saying.
Down at 666, she just said.
This is FEMA's billing code. For death by guillotines.
That's what she said. Yeah, that's the code for the guillotines.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, we're gonna thumb up that page real quick. Hold on. There we go.
Let's check that out.
Bookmark that. That's crazy. Oh, I'm not screen sharing. Good job. All right. Yeah, so I simply just Googled or DuckDuckGo'd it, and would have brought us to the same website right here.
Wow.
Same website. That's crazy.
What the fuck would they need guillotines for? What is the reasoning for this? I mean, like somebody's like, oh, I need 300,000 guillotines, and okay, here's the check. It's signed. You know.
I don't know what this is about, but it just seems awkward.
Kill your enemy. What does it say? Kill your enemy. See,
it's a metal website, but yeah.
See, that's what it is, guys. Is that we are their enemy.
Supreme Lord.
Yeah.
Is that what that company is called?
No. I think that was just like I don't know.
Is that the make and model of the guillotine? The Supreme Lord?
Oh no, dude. Kill your enemies in record time. I don't know, bro.
The Supreme Lord. Dude.
I don't know. I don't want to click on it. It seems sketchy, but FEMA's billing code for death by guillotines.
I sent it to you. I'm gonna send you 2 pictures.
Click on this motherfucking page and let's look what's going on here. These people piss me off. Fuck them and their guillotines.
Hold on. What do you got here, Bobby?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
So that's where
it splits the eyes. All right. So I'm not gonna have to go eat some quarters. That's good.
No, but if you look at the picture to the left, the grass there makes the beard of the goat.
Oh, look at that, dude.
The part that's not finished is because when they summon that demon, it's not locked in. It has a way out.
That's it'll be uncontrollable.
Yes.
Of course.
The other one I sent you is just a funny one of Khloe Kardashian. It's vitamin time.
Jesus Christ.
Adrenochrome time. She's like lapping it up like a dog.
It's so weird. All right, back to the guillotines over here.
Billing code for death by guillotine. Coming to a corner near you.
June 29th.
It's going to be very public guillotine things. This is what it's going to be. It's public to scare everybody else in the order. They did this on The Handmaid's Tale. Death by guillotine. This would be FEMA as in FEMA camp with renewed interest being shown by the public in FEMA camp.
Hold on 1 second. I'll get right back to that in a second. Okay, so same stuff. All right. I'm just validating it so we're not sharing like bad information.
Good job.
But I thought it was going to be, right when I saw this with the video clearly taken off by YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
No thanks. I don't want your cookies. Yeah, when you see something like that, it's most likely at least 70% legit. Let's put it that way,
I want to mention the segregation too. I told people this a long time ago when I was, learning about FEMA camps and stuff back in the day that, there's going to be a woman's FEMA camp. There's going to be a children's FEMA camp for the boys and the girls, and the men will be somewhere else. Families will not be together. Everybody will be separated. It's just like jail. You go to jail, women go over to where the women go to prison and jail and stuff. And that's what it's going to be like.
Absolutely. Let's give this a look up real quick. Let's see what Obama had to do with all this.
Good dude, man. Obama's a good dude, dude. Misunderstood,
He
fucking
is.
Weirdo. Gross.
Yeah, he's a fuck. Powers, such declaring martial law, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is just a thing that I was talking about earlier that he put on the shelf so someone could take it off when they pull the coronavirus. Yeah. Yeah, nice. All right, cool. Nope. There we go. So, yeah, like you said, gender segregation camps right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Yes, with the Nazis and Jews in the camps, if that whole story is true, this way it was the kids were separated from their parents. They told them lies right up until they got on the buses to go. This is why people had their suitcases packed, had their, coats and hats and shoes. And then you see piles of shoes, you see piles of suitcases, you see piles of coats, because they didn't need none of this where they were going. And they basically strip you down and humiliate you and take everything away from you, everything. And this is what's going to happen to us here. They're not going to go easy on us, guys. They're suckers of Satan's cock till the end. And it's not going to be pretty in one of these camps. That's why I said my front line starts at my front door. And that's where it's going to end for me.
Crazy.
Bruh.
This is years ago, too. I remember reading about all this shit.
Yep. And they plan way in advance, guys. It's here now. This is not, this is old information. It's new. It's here. It's happening in real time.
Yeah. They got to bring the Christians in. There you go.
What'd that say, though? They kill kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian kids refuse to renounce their faith and become Muslim.
Jesus Christ. Look at that. To Islam or by beheading. Nice.
With a blunt knife.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy, bro. And this is exactly
these heads. I mean, it's like the Aztecs. Remember, they were rolling the heads down the hills, the steps of the temple and stuff. There were a pile of heads at the bottom. It's sickening what's going on. Lucifer loves blood sacrifice. All of us are going to be a blood sacrifice to Lucifer when we say no to this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the funny thing, though. That's where we get them. That's where we win, because just like Jesus, they thought that killing him was going to win them dominion here. Then he came back.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to come back here, but we're going to go somewhere much better if we die for our faith, like they're intending to, But Bobby, since you have a wonderful reading voice, would you like to read Revelations 24?
Sure, man. Then I saw thrones, and they sat on them, and judgment was given to them. And I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded because of their testimony of Jesus and because of the word of God, and those who had not worshipped the beast or his image, and had not received the mark on their forehead or their hand. And they came to life and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. Without COVID.
Yep. Imagine that. So if we make it through this little, this grand illusion, this ultimate test of temptation that we go through every single day, honestly, but now more than ever, if we make it through this, we're going to get to live in a realm with Christ for 1,000 years. And he's going to show us all the things we did wrong and all the things that we're going to have to work on. And if we still want to go back to our old ways, well, we're going to be given a first-class ticket to the lake of fire. I think that's always going to be in our viewing point, to be like, you don't want to go there, so maybe you shouldn't do this or do that, or he's just going to teach us how to be righteous for those 1,000 years of real enlightenment, true light, the word.
Right.
And I'm gonna embrace that as much as I can. I don't want any of these earthly, materialistic, demonizing temptations to bring me down, because that's not going to be relevant anymore up there, wherever we're going to go after here. And I'll gladly, if they want to take my life, they want to take my head, they want blood, to fuel their demon, go for it. Because losing my life, your life, anyone else's life for that reason, because we believe in God, we believe in something else that's not the radical religion they're going to push on us, I'll gladly take that. I'll take it with a smile. Matter of fact, I'll do it first to show everyone the way. Don't be afraid of it. It's going to be sketchy at the time, but just take that last breath knowing that, it's only your last physical breath.
So let me ask you, Steve, what do you make of this here? Because I always wondered about this part. It says the mark on their forehead and on their hand. So there's two marks. Now, I remember seeing pictures a long time ago, drawings of, like, say, a guy with a barcode on his forehead and somebody scanning them and you see the laser. And now they have these temperature laser readers.
I see that too.
What do you think the mark on their forehead, because it has to be on the forehead and their hand. So it's not either or. So what do you think the forehead thing means?
I think the forehead is referring to the space between the temple, the real temple of God. God, he dwells in the hearts of men. It's in our consciousness, in our mind. So once we get the vaccine mark and our DNA starts transferring, everything in the temple of God is no longer a temple of God. It's the temple of the beast, because we're controllable. So we'll have the mark in our hand, and then in our forehead will be only thoughts of whatever the hive mind wants us to think of. I think, unless they're gonna make them wear stickers on their head. I don't know about that, but
tattoo, like a digital thing that goes on their forehead that just feels like skin overlay, like it just sits there.
well, I mean, what they could honestly convert the one world religion could be fucking what's the religion where they have the little things on their forehead there?
Oh, the little cubes on their foreheads.
No, some of the I don't know if they're Indian, but in that part of the world, a lot of
the little dot. Yes, I'm sorry.
they have the dot on their little head. Yeah, so I could see, because I mean, I think the one world currency is going to be a digital version of the Denali, the Iraq. Is that the Iraq money, or is that the Iran?
I used to have that money.
You should have kept on to it. I think that's going to be the new world currency. I think it's going to be digitalized, obviously, but I mean, that is the most secure dollar bill or currency on the face of the earth right now, and it's worth my nuts. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's like $1 for us is like what? It's right now. I think it's valued like 950 of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could have made a buck back in the day. It used to be 3,000. So you could have really done your thing. But I was 7. I was 7 when all that happened. So like I say all the time, if I was born 30 years before and any time before that, it would have been a good life. But right now, I'm not saying it sucks. I'm clearly here for a reason. And I think what we're doing right now is the reason why I'm here, to meet people like you and Bobby and, collectively share our thoughts to the world, or whoever decides to click on the link on a Monday night,
That's right.
It is what it is. But, I this is what we're here to do. Show people that you gotta do what you gotta do, not in the ways by going along to get along, but by, doing what you got to do. Come as a man, you die as a man. Everyone lives, everyone dies.
Yeah.
You can call it the cycle of life, but that's just how it goes. Then you go into your cocoon, and then you come out something different. It's just like the caterpillar. The caterpillar was the one genius thing that God did for us, because that's the one thing you could visually see turn into something go from something very ugly, go into its cocoon and come out beautiful. Like right here in the flesh, in the meat, we're here. We're I wouldn't say ugly, but compared to what our spiritual bodies probably look like, it's probably not even a candle to it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Not even a candle.
It is I wonder if the forehead, if that could be more of the AI shit too.
Possibly, yeah. Well, I mean, remember in that commercial, the DNA thing, after it gets injected into him, the first thing they go to is his eyes, and his eyes turn digital red.
Oh boy.
Right. So right now, they're scanning your temperature and shit like that. But I mean, God only knows where 15, 20 years down the road could lead to where you got to scan your hand for this and scan your eyes for that.
Yeah. But see, you know what? Your frontal lobe is in your forehead. And when they want to do a frontal lobotomy, they go straight up your nose with a metal rod and they tap it. Mm-hmm. And it punctures it and stuff. And after that, you're just drooling on yourself for the rest of your life. If this nanotech does enter our body and seems to culminate in this spot to control us, because it seems to be a lot of our, emotion and all this stuff's going on in the frontal lobe. That's why it's so easy to give somebody a lobotomy and they're just like a breathing, walking vegetable.
Yeah.
With no sense of reality. And that seems to be the way they want us. So maybe this tech seems to make its main spot here to control us throughout the rest of our body, read our activities and stuff like that. But here it keeps us under its control.
Did Bill Gates say where he wants to put everything?
He needs to put that shit up his ass. Fuck Bill Gates.
Well, I mean,
taser his ass.
I'm with you, Bobby. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I know he puts a lot of money into it. I mean, he stepped down from Microsoft to fucking focus more on his Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation bullshit.
Yeah.
Southbound says maybe it's the pineal gland they're trying to shut down, but the pineal gland is not. If you go from the forehead straight into your brain, like this far back, in the center is where the pineal gland is. This is specifically saying in the forehead. It's not saying in the temple or the crown, of the head, corona. It's saying the forehead. So this is where, like I said, when you get a frontal lobotomy, it's about them puncturing up through this part of your brain.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to find this little.
And now they're all shoving these Q-tips up people's fucking noses.
Hey. Bill and Melinda Gates said their pledge was inspired by the remarkable progress made on vaccines. Record vaccines access, improved routine immunization, new vaccine and introduction. Where the hell was it? What's your name?
Did I send you that video of the cartoon that had like the digital vaccine and all that other stuff in it? Or no?
I have no idea. Yeah, maybe, but show it.
I'm trying. That's why I asked you if I showed it to you or not.
Oh, let me look.
Let me see. I don't know where I sent it to my cousin, but I know that's one of the last messages I sent to him. It was either here or it was on the Twitter sphere. So
yeah, so like going back, so like the chip is going to be in the hand. That's a force because they're already doing that in Sweden. People like to say, well, it's voluntary right now. All right, calm down, dude. But the fact that they're chipping people and putting it in the hand,
yeah,
or the other spot they said they could do is the forehead. Like no one sees that as like a red flag.
That's what I'm saying.
Just like why those two places? Why not the foot?
Why not the ear or
ear, the fucking
right? Why does it have to be biblical?
Why is it in my hand or in my forehead? Easy spots to scan, I guess, dude. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. How do I make this bigger? I don't think I do. I don't even know where the volume is. Oh, okay. It's all hidden down here. All right, here we go. Big screen. Check this out.
Charter City is stunned by the sudden rollout of Rook Unlimited's most fantastic device ever. The Smart Mark. Throw your other devices away because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash. Book your travel.
It's part of you, just like the Droid DNA commercial. It's not an upgrade to your phone. It's an upgrade to yourself.
This is a social credit system on steroids, too, by the way. This is totally China social credit system.
Oh, yeah, this is that on a whole nother level.
Yeah. All your credits will be on
there.
Oh, of course. And more will. Check out what this little boy does.
Video.
Shoot video.
Distribution points are all over the city. And don't let the lines discourage you. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait.
Is this Ben 10, dude?
And they're calling
I don't know.
Like
I realized how wonderful technology could make me feel.
You could have called it anything else
Mark
but
has brought order to my life.
And the best part,
all right, Karen.
It's absolutely free.
Did you catch that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see your...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But not only that, like the way she sounds, if you play it back, it almost sounds like after she got it, she turns into this like fucking drone just spewing nonsense.
Yeah, like, oh, I love science and technology.
Exactly, like she got reprogrammed.
Yeah, literally. Let's see if she says it again.
Realized how wonderful technology could make me feel. The Smart Mark has brought order to my life.
And the best part?
Order to my life.
Order. Out of all the chaos that's going on, it's going to bring order to your life.
A possible new
Smart
world
Mark.
order.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did show me this because I looked up Smart Mark before. Smart Mark in geometry. Jesus.
Oh man, look at this kid. He's bringing me back to 12th grade. Jesus Christ.
Gematria is not only 66, but it's also 33.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's not good, but that's right.
Smart Mark.
It's absolutely free. A gift of thanks to our city from Rook Unlimited.
It's totally free.
Yeah. Brought to you by Donald Trump and his minions.
And the news station there, CCN, equals 11. 2011, 61 and 16, so a mirror each other in 11 is a master number. Smart Mark's 33, 66.
All right, Steve, I don't know if you feel like it, but maybe we could shift gears a little since we're going down to 3 hours. And let's take a look at, the flat earth plane and what it might actually be. Maybe some type of circuit board tech. I don't know if you remember a while ago. Okay.
No, I got it queued up right here.
Okay,
Yeah, I still have it.
Remember a long time ago, Google Earth, people were saying that they were zooming in on Google Earth to like lakes and river systems and seeing all this, what looked like tech in the water. Like they're saying that there were pixels and digital, whatever happens when they're making this thing. But learning what I just learned now, and then looking at these cities at night, when you look at like New York, Manhattan, all the like California, everywhere, the cities at night, when you see it all lit up, it's literally like a circuit board, the way it's all lined out. And so, yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see this.
Jennifer in the chat, once again, has been on fire tonight. She brought up, it's a Jen thing.
Yeah.
She said Africa is doing a trust stamp thing, so I looked that up.
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah, I sent it to you if you want to like pull it up really quick.
Yeah, sure.
It's a trust stamp integrating biometric hash solution with MasterCard on children's vaccine record system.
Oh boy.
With MasterCard. Remember, they're just a credit card.
That sounds good.
But it also ties back to that. What's that friggin' the one thing we looked at the one day, the green card or whatever the hell for kids?
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
So now MasterCard is getting in on some children vaccines bullshit. They're also producing the children's ID debit card, green, whatever the hell it's called.
All right, hold on. I'm just trying to exit out some tabs. Just bookmarking them so I can get back to them later. All right, let me open Facebook back up. It was giving me a lag earlier, but actually it's really smooth now. You love to see it. So where are we here? Wow. There you go. From the same website that brought us the ID 2020. Here, I'll just share the entire screen. I don't know what I'm doing, Bobby. Oh.
Hey, man.
Oh.
I said geometry. So.
That's okay. What do we got? Trust stamp, integrated biometric hash. The hash solution with MasterCard on children's vaccine record system. Nice.
By matching hashes rather than names, ID numbers or photos. So are now when I hear hashes, I think of barcode tattoos.
Yeah.
Because that's what hashes are. They're barcodes. So it says in here, if you, I'm kind of reading ahead a little bit, but right below where it says the evergreen hash, it's where it says, only a small percent of the data that originally exists is the hash. What you have is something safer for storing because it can't be used directly.
Identify you.
Yep, no one will recognize you in this huge jumble of numbers. And then it says by matching hashes rather than names, IDs, numbers, or photos. So hashes, to me, are barcodes. That's a barcode system.
Yeah, it's going to be your new driver's license number.
Well, there's a barcode on the back of your driver's license.
Yeah, there is.
Know that. And in every barcode, there is a blatant 666 with the two pillars next to each other, indicating that. But
love it.
So you got a trusty I mean that could be it, brother. That's actually got the fucking numerology on there, you know?
Could be. That could be. I mean, if
It
you
could be the stamp, the tattoo part of it.
could be. It could be right on your forehead too.
Fuck that, dude. Like
scam you.
I can't go through with that.
Well,
So-
well, I mean, we're not gonna be here for that part. I don't think, at least. I think I can't see how we make it through the chip in the hand. I don't even know how we get past that. But if we are, that's definitely where we you know, get caught. That's definitely where we die at the barcode on the forehead.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the other dude was talking earlier from Oklahoma. Like, I'm sure they got all those buses ready for us. Because what's that one video that RFB got pulled down? He was showing the 6-7 buses that were not hidden, but they were in between the National
Look,
Guard trucks.
Hold on. Before you close it, I just caught this. In addition to enabling aid agencies to carry out their work without collecting legal names or identities from people, the technology is contactless, supporting safe interactions despite COVID-19 pandemic.
No, that's the only thing that's still safe. Okay.
Yeah, hashes on your for kids.
Oh, good.
Love it.
Just ridiculousness. But here, let me get that video that Jen sent me up. I think I got it somewhere. This should be it. Right? I'm outside the box.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
All right. I'm just going to hit play.
Sounds good.
Is there anything like I should see in the first 2 minutes? Because I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, there actually is. You don't
Okay.
Son of a.
Okay. That's fine.
All right.
I've been doing a lot of research lately on Tartaria and the resets, and I always keep thinking the cities look like motherboards. So I started doing a bit of a search. Now look at this. A motherboard, also called main board, main circuit board, system board, base board, planar board, logic board, and MOBO. It's the main printed circuit board, or PCB. Printed circuit board. And looking at this old world Tartaria, and you think how perfect and amazing it's built. And everyone always says maybe it's digitally printed or 3D printed.
Yep.
Putting a bit more truth to this theory. So there's a motherboard there on the right. Here's a real motherboard.
Yeah, I didn't want you to miss this, Steve.
Just like a
Look,
city.
it's a fucking
Buildings in
city.
the background blending in.
Wow.
I know, dude.
Definitely based off the same sort of looks.
I'm so happy I'm sober.
Definitely,
for this.
maybe.
I'm baked, but it blows me away. Look at that,
So
dude.
it got me intrigued.
Look at this shit.
Here's one being made, printed, put together by a machine. A machine building a machine. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Low key, it is actually.
Strange.
Surprised anyone from this civilization's even smart enough to make this technology.
Facts.
Which I imagine we really inherited. So if you have eyes to see, you will see this. Here's a great compilation of some cities around the world. All exactly the same, built on the same style, motherboard, layout grids. Open your mind to this concept.
Wow.
This is something that we should look further into.
I've always said we're electric beings.
Very possibly this realm is just a computer. Is it still functioning though?
Why is there a boat there?
I think that was a video game.
I hope so.
I thought this was pretty interesting. When I was looking up computer grid, this just came up as part of one of the searches, computer cluster. Now we know there's no such thing as coincidences. Look at that bottom right picture there. It really got my attention. On the side of it, the logo Sun Microsystems Solaris Cluster with in-row cooling. That's
Wow.
interesting.
This is good, Steve. Listen to this shit.
What about this? This Japanese designer, Yuri Suzuki, created this wonderful London Underground map on a printed circuit board. As an added bonus, the map is also a radio. It's an exact replica and functioning machine.
What?
Like electronics work on the PCB board. You can make whatever you want.
Now I know a lot of you guys haven't come around to all the mountains being melted buildings, but you will.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely will. Here's a motherboard now getting melted. Just to sort of put the picture into your mind. Sort of change colours and shapes. Liquefying or vitrified is what the mainstream say. Once you have eyes to see, you will see it. I mean, you can still see all the lines in the mountains. There's still bricks there. No one made any of these buildings with all these stupid sized blocks. Why would an advanced race build like that? It's utterly stupid. We only believe that because we're utterly stupid. When we keep saying, how did they build it? How did they build it? It makes most sense that it was printed. Printed computer realm. I've got a theory on what I think it all is. I think this is a fantasy factory. It used to be a place of pleasure. Now the parasites have taken over, and it's hell. Absolute hell. Look at all the bricks. Look at the different shapes and colours. Ruins. Because the buildings are ruined. Look at the bottom bit there before it just blends into the ground. Old world, here it is. Some have survived.
Fuck.
But look at all this. This is where mountains come from. The earth is flat. The mountains were giant buildings that have melted, creating all the different ups and downs and bumps. All around this plain, we have these crazy, crazy super advanced buildings. Couldn't even imagine to build these. All we are is a civilization of road builders to cover all this up. Everything built with bricks. Bricks, bricks, bricks. There wasn't a mud flood. It was a brick flood. They're not all titans. They're buildings. Don't take my word for it. Google it yourself. Google ruined castles or vitrified castles.
Those bricks. Wow.
Just imagine what this realm really looked like before the great X Factor happened.
Exactly. It's an X factor. Fuck.
What happened to this old world? What could have possibly have melted all of these structures?
Sulfur.
Something shorted out the grid. Was it the moon? Was the moon an old sun? Now it's the lesser light?
Oh shit! Don't
That could be a possibility. We don't have any technologies that could ever do something like this.
What's it?
Maybe 33G network. I've heard a few people talk about how our bones or bodies could be like batteries. We could be all helping power the grid. Maybe it's up and running again, but we're that brainwashed that we can't use it to have any fantasies because they try to keep us all so depressed, keep us at such a low vibrancy all the time.
Pretty good at
They
that.
control all the narratives,
Yep.
even half this truth community.
Wow. It's just a village.
Definitely looking forward to
In
reading
the
your
clouds.
comments on this one.
Wow. Middle of the woods.
As
Nothing to
truth
see.
seekers and flat earthers, we all know of the firmament. God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." But what if the firmament was the computer case? Right, now calm down. I know it's not a globe. But the top could be domed. It could look a lot like this with a flat plane inside. Or maybe it's just a simple box like this. A cube. And that's what made me think about this.
Huh.
Is that what this really represents? The Kaaba in Mecca? Does this represent the computer? The great computer? So then I started breaking down everything of our reality. Like wind. Just because
This
it
is good,
exists
guys.
doesn't make it natural. Where does it really come from? I mean, really. Just because it exists doesn't mean it's real. It could be man-made, so to say.
You know, the clouds are man-made.
Machine-made. All these things could be tricks to trick us. But that's not what I think the wind's for. It's a cooling system for this great computer.
Someone better
Maybe
turn the
these
fan on in
fans are hidden in the
Massachusetts.
Or just above a projected sky. I mean, who knows? We know they can make clouds.
Since 1812.
There's definitely one theory. The winds are a cooling system to this computer. Now here's a fantastic simulation of a city showing how the wind works around it.
There you go.
Showing how the wind could be moving around to cool the grid. But maybe it just wasn't enough. Maybe the grid had expanded too much and extremely overheated and melted. So that got me thinking about the Great Flood, Noah's Flood. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened.
Methuselah.
What the fuck is this?
From that movie,
The
Noah.
movie Noah. This is how God
So that got me
told him.
thinking. Were the waters let in to cool the computer down? Or was it an upgrade for the next grid, making it a water-cooled computer? Genesis 1:2, the earth was without form and void, and the darkness was on the face of the deep. The earth was without form and void, and the
So that has been like I said, you get one scripture into the Bible and you're like, I have questions already. That's where most pastors and preachers are like, shut up and read the book and you'll get the answer. You don't really get an answer for Genesis 1-2. You don't really get one. And that is where there's only two places where this event fits in. Here or sometime after the Bible was finished. That's the only two places. Someone would have wrote about that. You feel me? You know? What do you think, Bobby?
I feel like I am stoned out of my mind. My mind is melted.
Dude, same, bro. Same. I don't know what to say about any other part of this video because it's just nuts.
But like it's like one of those. It's like one of those things where it's like when I first looked into like flat Earth and when I first like I told you the story before. I was smoking actually with my friends and he was watching something about science and they were talking about the Big Bang. And immediately in my head, the only thing I could think of was like, well, how does it happen in a vacuum? How do you need an oxygen for combustion? So how does that happen? And that's when I started. And then from there, my mind was melted. Like, oh my God, the fucking Earth is flat. And then, and then when I started like looking into it and I talked to other people, like, there's enough here to where like you could easily be like, this guy's fucking nuts. But there's also a lot here that you're like, God damn it, he's right.
Right. Yeah.
Or at least on to something. Not saying he's 1,000% because no one really knows. But like, there's enough kernels here to where like you could piece together. Like if this was a court case, he could definitely start the trial with this.
Yeah, it gets better.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know the what are they called? The jury. They be in that room for a while.
They definitely be a hung one.
Yeah. And it's just crazy because like the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. So does that mean that there was a civilization before Adam and they just went hard and he just wiped it out? I don't know. These are questions that I would love to get answered one day, but I mean, when the time and day comes where we have to meet our maker, I'm sure none of this will be on our minds. I'm sure of it. I'm sure I'll be holding on to something, you know, because I'm sure there's.
It helps us try to get an answer to what took place, what melted these buildings. If it was a grid system and, you know, this is all metaphorical or whatever, allegorical and stuff, it could have went down like this. Clearly there was something before us. And so, yeah, I just like the way he kind of ties it together with this allegory and everything.
Well, because it makes sense because it obviously, the money cut you off, but obviously the heat came from the bottom up.
Exactly. Yeah.
And doesn't lightning come from Earth up to like this like that way?
Technically, yeah. It's just that's crazy, bro. Just like what could have. So, I'm just so stumped right now, man. I'm just so stumped. That's the hardest part of the Bible for me. The first two verses. I'm just like, but he just like made it good, and now it's bad already. I'm like, what happened? I'm like, why is there not like a Genesis, like 1.5 to like fill in the picture there? Because you know what I'm saying.
Well,
like
left out of the Bible.
Yeah, they edited the fuck out of the Bible, dude.
Right. Like, why isn't there, like, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth?
Yeah, well, when he sent Cain and Abel, what was it? He sent Cain out or something to walk amongst the wild, and he's like, "No, they'll kill me out there." And he said, "I'll put a mark upon you that they'll know not to touch it." Who are those people out there? I thought it was just Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel.
Exactly.
So there's other people out
Exactly.
there.
They were the leftovers, dude.
I think those are what we would call Freemasons today. That's what I think.
He ties it all together here. Maybe
But it's just crazy because, like, in the Bible, it doesn't say, and then the earth was without form and void. It's, and the earth was without form and void. You know, it's a tackle box of just possibilities, you know?
Yeah, the earth was without form, not and then the earth was. It's the earth was. So before Genesis 1-2, the earth was already without form.
Intense. All right. Let's wrap this one up here.
Do it.
Darkness was on the faces of the deep. Did you know that deep is also a computer term?
Yep.
Deep learning. The waters above and below the firmament could be AI. Deep learning is a superpower. With it, you can make a computer see, synthesize novel art, translate languages, render medical diagnosis, or build pieces of a car that can drive itself. If that isn't a superpower, I don't know what is. Machine learning yearning. Technical strategy for AI engineers in the era of deep learning. Has this era already been? Artificial intelligence is not new.
Nope.
Artificial intelligence. Any technique which enables computers to mimic human behavior. Machine learning. AI techniques that give computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed to do so. Deep learning, a subset of machine learning which make the computation of multi-layer neural networks feasible.
Neural networks.
This looks like the
COVID.
novel coronavirus, and this just looks like something straight out of the Cabal. But
that looks like the nanotech from fucking Revolution. Remember I told you it looked like the coronavirus.
yeah, crazy stuff.
This is what's going on, guys. They're trying to merge us with this AI fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly. Not in the ways of uploading your soul to a machine, but more like uploading a machine to your soul.
Yeah, and they had this, 1990 to 2000, they already had this shit. We're 20 years down the road.
I was saying, when they rolled out Sophia, I kind of chuckled and laughed. Like, it was obviously, like, you know, it's not good, obviously. You know, it's a bad thing. It's a blasphemy, you know, it's an abomination, but at the same time, it's like, why would you show us this when, like, we know you have Westworld type shit going on? We know you have altered carbon shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like the milk dunks and all that crazy shit. Like, I don't know. Like, they got that shit going on. Why would you show us this thing?
All these movies that they showed us, like these mutant movies where these people have these extraordinary superpowers and stuff, and they're running around and, you know, they're popping up all over the place and everything. When they send out their so-called super soldiers, which probably look like the average everyday person who suddenly gets the flip of the switch and they go into like full military mode, now they can lift a car and throw it. They can run 60 miles an hour, no problem. They never get tired. They don't have to eat and drink as much and everything because, you know, they're all fucking at the end game there where it says deep learning with that fucking cabal fucking symbol.
Yeah. As above, so below.
Yeah, and they'll be everywhere, and they'll be like, oh, these people just have superpowers or something, when actually they're, you know, modified AI, like in Westworld. They program them to kill, and they're just like super robots.
It's intense.
Take multiple hits, they don't go down.
No, it's crazy.
Terminator.
Head straight over and subscribe.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
You know, I like to bring something to the table that's going to blow your mind. And I thought that would do it.
It's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
So, yeah,
I'm going to have to rewatch that later for sure.
Mirror it if you want. It's up on my channel, guys. I'll try to drop the link in the chat here.
Yeah, definitely drop that link. That's some hot shit right there.
Yeah.
You see,
That's
now it's gonna bother me now.
I know, dude. Me too. Because like, I believe in the in a like, I don't know. I don't want to say a human creator, but like a God creator who's got a big white beard and feet who are brown as or brass. You know what I'm saying? And then this guy, he's got the AI, the whatever the. I don't know, bro. I'm
All right,
lost.
I dropped it.
I'm lost. Like, so what exactly does that mean?
I don't know, but when you look at these cities at night, I want everybody to just smoke a big fatty and look at cities lit up at night, and they're all fucking grid systems. It's exactly like a motherboard.
I'm not denying that in any way. I'm just trying to figure out how that fits in, like in a biblical timeline or in aspects like that, because that's just it's not far-fetched to me, but what does that mean for us as beings if we're on a AI grid or whatever?
Yeah.
That was a question.
I know, I'm trying to answer it. I mean, like, I'm trying to on every level, and I don't want to have to say, I've said it many times. The Bible was written by man. They tell us it was inspired by God, and it does have a lot of great things in it. But at the same time, with the Mandela effect and what's going on with the Bible, it's showing me again that this thing's been manipulated. If it was true to its form, it would never change. You see what I'm saying? So clearly it's not true to its form in one manner or another. You can take it to one extreme or another on that one.
Well, that applies for us too. We're not completely pure. I mean, my heart went from the left center of my chest to the center of my chest. So I don't think that argument holds up too well. And that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it all fits in, because I know, like I said, everything we've been taught is a lie. Everything. And you have to put that on the table. I'm not saying the whole Bible's a lie, but maybe it's put in a certain way for us to look at it a certain way instead of looking at it in a techie kind of way or something. You know what I mean? Everything's to keep us distracted away from what's really happening around us. Our sky is not what we thought it was, or the ground beneath our feet is not what we thought it was. The oceans are nothing what we think they are. We don't know anything about our world. And everything we've been told is a lie. We haven't had one original thought in our whole lives until just recently. And, the Bible, considering the people who have handled it through the millennia, those people are highly questionable people who have presented us with this book. You know what I'm saying? King James is a fucking homosexual Mason, and he's in the bloodline. So where does that leave King James Version? You know what I mean? Now it's all shifty and everything. So I think we have to go within. Our true connection to the Creator is within. And as long as we have that and it's strong and we know ourselves and we know how not to get deceived and use our discernment and everything like that and trust in ourselves and the Creator guiding us along the way, that we'll come out of this on the right side of things. But then we'll have the full view, like Enoch, him seeing wheels within wheels, like this was some big cog machine of some sort. You know what I mean? Maybe he was telling us in that it was like a techie kind of version of what he was seeing. I don't know. It's just a thought.
So are they trying to essentially turn this machine back on?
Maybe.
Because I think maybe the machine, this Earth thing, the grid was on at one point, and God was like, nah, bro, wipe that shit out. And I mean, to turn that back on, that would definitely be an abomination that causes desolation.
Yeah.
You feel me, Bobby?
All I know is
right, yo.
is that when I die, if I die and it's some guy unhook me from a computer and he's like, hey, great run.
Good deck his ass.
I'm gonna be really mad.
I'm gonna deck that guy harder than I decked that kid in high school, dude.
Like I'm gonna be like, are you fucking for real?
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna have that Neo moment where I'm just standing there with my hand in my head, like, nah, I'm just gonna go like full-fledged like attack mode.
Speaking of Neo, I don't mean to interrupt you. Speaking of Neo, remember what I said? What happened in the Matrix? What did they do to his mouth?
Yeah, they removed it basically.
Yeah,
No.
He couldn't talk. He had no mouth. He's going like, who's eyes without a face kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Just stuck out to me there. I'm sorry.
And also in the Matrix, like the clones were in there too.
Yeah.
Well, there's people on pods and shit like that. But I mean, like that, like even if you think of it like how he put it out there, that could even explain like things like ghosts, if you would. Like, what if ghosts are just like
Ghosts and
imprints of like a former memory card, if you will, still logged into the system.
Yeah, like some sort of vague overlay.
That's so crazy.
You like unplug the Xbox, like it might not turn off properly. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to like hit turn off console, and you know what I'm saying. You mean that's like just holding the power button on the computer and turning it off. Do that enough times, your computer will have issues. I learned that from being a dumb teenager.
Or like you know how you like like old VHS, you have like a home movie, and then you tape over it, and then there's like almost like sometimes it could be like an overlay of the two images.
Dude, I used to record every Monday Night Raw. I have 400 or 500 VHSs of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and pay-per-views in my basement in a tote, like the biggest tote you've ever seen.
That's what's up, though.
Well,
I don't have a VHS to play them back on, but
the TV I smashed up today had a VHS tape thing in it. I couldn't believe it how old this thing was.
That's funny.
Bitch, dude, I would have bought that off you just to watch my wrestling, because everything else sucks. Because I could watch wrestling without being like, oh, I'm mind controlled now, you know, like some dumb fuck. But
that TV my bitch today.
You did. Sabotage.
It was fucking awesome.
That's crazy.
Badass. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty badass. But
I wasn't expecting the smoke to come out. I don't know what that stuff was. I guess some kind of element they have in the tubes in there or something.
Yeah.
Green.
That is crazy, though. Here. Why won't this do what I want it to do? I just wanted to show that little article again, but I guess we're having technical difficulties.
So what they're showing us COVID looks like is actually what the nanotech looks like, guys.
Yeah. Isn't that like just coincidental?
Yeah, right?
There we go. Yeah. Cells like antennas. Isn't that nice? DNA, yep. Built from charged electrons. That's just crazy how they're gonna start. They admitted they're gonna start injecting us with the COVID with DNA to penetrate body cells. And you got what I was just showing here. I was showing the wrong one, but this is the 5G technology could cause coronavirus in skin cells. Imagine that. Just so crazy. You know, then I just Googled 2020. Well, I meant to do and beyond, but I did. I misspelt. So let's try that out. And it's just, you know, everywhere you go, 5G this, 5G that, 5G, driving the economy, 5G, along with AI. AI is apparently driving the economy right now too. And Bitcoin went from $9,000 to $11,000 since the last time I checked, like a week ago. So that's no coincidence there. No coincidence there. And it's just, I'm just in shock from everything we've looked at today so far. Eyes without a face, computer grid, flat earth melting. I don't even know. Then you got this dude over here. The medication is injected under the skin with a needle, then activated with a device that resembles a toothbrush. Interesting. Which delivers an electrical impulse for a fraction of a second, allowing the DNA from the needle, by the way, to penetrate the body's cells to carry out its mission. Because once you get the coronavirus in quotations, which is just going to be 5G millimeter wave exposure, they're going to fix that for you.
Hey,
and that's technically called living forever. Transhumanism. What's up?
The things we look into and the things we say here, I just want to tell everybody, I'm not suicidal. I do not want to take my own life.
I couldn't. I can't. I don't have the. I don't know. I wouldn't say I have the balls to do that. I don't
I'm a
have
pussy. Okay, I'm a
Sure.
bitch.
Let's put it that
I
way.
am not gonna kill myself. So if anything happens to me and you hear, oh, but you hear about Bobby, he killed himself. It's bullshit. So, sorry, continue.
100%, bro. You know, the only way they're gonna get me to do something like that is if it's. You ever see that movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg?
Unfortunately.
Fortunately, right. I thought it was a badass movie as a kid, but remember when that terrorist dude had the CIA guy propped up on that little machine to literally make him shoot himself? Like that would be the only feasible way.
Or that heart attack gun they got.
Yes. Yes.
Love that one.
Very interesting. But check this out. The American conservative. America needs a refounding. What will replace it? The left, in conjunction with its own establishments, wishes to build radical changes it has already made. What's this word here?
Ushering.
Here you go. Hey, I could have done that myself. Damn it! Ushering in a governing philosophy. I don't know how to say that. Philosophy of transhumanism. So you already have the right blaming the left for the transhumanism that's going to come out in the future, which is just bullshit in reality because there is no right left. They're all just together. It's just a finger pointing game. Look, they're doing this, but they're doing that. They don't like this, but they don't like. Yeah, exactly. It's all their fault. So
if it's their fault, that means we have the cure for all this or whatever. We bring us in and we'll help you, and then it's their fault, and then it just goes back and forth. It's a ping pong game. It's the same shit, different diaper scenario.
Look at this. About a year ago, what is transhumanism and why was Jeffrey Epstein into it? That's probably an interesting read. It's very, very crazy. Immortality or bust. We saw that the day it came out from Forbes in the White House. Very, very, very interesting. Just, it's everywhere, guys. And just, like I was talking about before, a $500 fine a day for violators. Exactly. That's for people who don't quarantine for 14 days or show they have negative coronavirus testing if they come in from a different state. Like, wow. And that's our governor. This guy is beat.
Bro, my mind's being blown even more.
What's happening on the sidelines?
One of the truther things I said I get invited to. Somebody's like, "Hey, go to this," because like they're all about like these people now are about the new WikiLeaks that are out. And I'm reading a Masonic cipher, and it's telling you all like the initials and all the things and what they stand for and what they mean. And I'm just like reading it. That's why I was saying like, "Hey, if I don't want to kill myself," so. But it has like all like the little things they use, like initials and words and what they mean, and it's just a Masonic cipher, and it tells you what they all mean.
Yeah, they don't like to hide their plan, dude. They don't like to hide it.
Their hand gestures. You'll see all their hand gestures and what they all mean and stuff, like the hidden hand stuff and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a hidden hand the other day. I pointed it out. I was like, look at that. Look at that. Like, that's Freemasonic. My brother was like, no way. I was like, oh way. Yeah. Oh way. I was like, in the most blatant way, actually. Exactly. It was on a commercial. They could have used any other picture of this dude. Any other picture, and they decided to use that. Just very, very strange. But here, I just got one more thing to share before we leave. We can just talk over it. It's just the little video I had today in the cemetery. I just thought it was very oh, I guess we're not going to watch it. There we go. I just thought it was very interesting because I'm in East Long Meadow and I drive by this cemetery, I guess, all the time. And, I've noticed like one or two little pillar things, but I didn't notice the two that were behind the tree pretty much. That's why they're in the shade over here. And yeah, like look how old that is. 1885. It's got like shit growing off of it.
Wow.
It's definitely not the only one there, as we'll see in a minute. Like there's that one. Yeah, these little
cool.
old man. Then there's this whopper over here. Look at this thing. Isn't that nuts? That's like someone's headstone. Like what? What? Like that's something you'd see holding up like half a building.
There's an obelisk.
Right next to it. There's like 5 or 6 of them. But
Are they Masonic? They look like they are.
I didn't see any things on them, but I did see 1 or 2 little Masonic headstones throughout the rest of the
1894.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever that was.
Right.
Fucking
oh,
lead
look
pipe.
at that. You see that? Hold on. That's an eye.
Oh, good eye, Steve.
Come
So I was
on,
just
go.
going to say 890. Yep, it's an eye. 888. Look at that. In the year 888, guys.
Wow. I don't know how I didn't see that in person today.
Just the way your brain works.
Because like they're even indented differently.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is a deep eye, and these are like just barely 8s.
You're right. It's in there like a letter would be in there because it is a letter.
Exactly. That's nuts. I wonder what the other ones are. Oh, that one's a 1 though. I can't tell. I think that's at 1826 on that side. But like, look at them both. Like that's nuts. Like, what would this be considered? Just a pillar?
I guess.
Right? I guess. Right?
It's a
Like,
phallic symbol, clearly. I don't know.
Nuts.
Look at this weird thing. What the fuck is that? Scrying mirror? What's on there?
I don't know, but like this was like 1840.
Dude,
Like
that's like a flower of life or something on there, like a pattern.
yeah, it was blotted out, but yeah. It was crazy. And
that.
me neither. And all we get are like, yeah, look at this other one. I think that's a 1. But still, it's my height. And look at that. Look at that. It's not even fully out. Like, how nuts is that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, right?
Come
How much
on.
more's down there?
That's what I'm saying. Uh-oh. Here we go. And, like, they were just throwing out, headstones like that left and right. And back in the year, 18 whatever. And, nowadays, all we get are, let me see if we can get one. Yeah, just little shits like this. You know what I'm saying? See the mouse and, the little one back here? Like, that's, typical. That's what everyone gets. This was, what everyone got, 200 years ago for some reason. And I thought this was rather strange. Look at this. It was, boxed out. But I got distracted because I found this other one over here.
Wow.
Had a wreath on it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that wreath goes with the phallic symbol. It's fertility, Saturnalia, Satanism.
World Economic Forum, UN, you name it. They got it.
Paganism.
They got it. Yeah, they love that shit. That one's probably around 9 feet tall. It's pretty big. It's pretty much holding the camera at eye level the whole time, too. Yeah, it's just very creative. And look at this. It's X'd out. Can't go there for some reason.
There are those little family plots. Wow, look at that. That looks like Antiquitech or some shit.
Look at it. I get up on it. HD camera, baby.
Wow. That's crazy looking.
Another wreath. How nuts is that?
Like on top of some building somewhere, not sitting in a graveyard.
Saying, bro. This literally looks like the tops of those little Chinese buildings from back in the day. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, I was alive 600 years ago.
Last week.
And the thing is, what I noticed is like the little stone in the. I thought this was metal, but it's just more stone. It's just as old as freaking this. How nuts is that? The welders. Look at that. 1825.
Is it a 1? Does it look like a 1?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
What the?
It might be. I really can't tell. It was really blodgy. It was really like something like scorched a dick off it, but
Well, funny you would say scorched the dick off of it.
right. Well, clearly it's still there, but
It's also dick.
I know.
Yeah, all the Masons get buried on top of underneath of a dick.
Because they're dicks.
That's all they suck on.
That's right.
It's so fucking odd.
It is. All of this stuff is odd.
Y'all are stupid, dude. Cause I'm so rational thinking that like, say I was like born into it and like I got old enough. I'm like, wait, so we do all this for Lucifer? Yes. So Lucifer's real? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to the other team. So
nah, you can't do that.
Of course I could. What the fuck?
Look at that fucking thing.
Right,
Yeah.
dude.
I was not born to be a part of that system because I'm so like, nah, I'm cool.
What year is that from? Does it say?
Yeah, I 866.
I
think so.
Yeah.
And that looks like some Antiquitech shit on top of a building. This thing
Is, I think, because like look at it's on stone. It's not in the ground. You see what I'm saying here?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird,
Hey,
dude.
Phelps.
Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
It looks like it was like brought there from somewhere else.
exactly.
There was like a chunk of concrete underneath of it. Like,
This thing. You want to talk Antiquitech? Look at this thing. This is literally just like a miniature building.
Wow, dude, that's nuts. Look at that.
what the?
And that's a regular one I pointed out. I'm like, this is what regular people get buried with now.
Right?
You're like,
That
what
would be
building
like
did
a
they steal
wealthy
that from?
person. Huh?
I was like, what building did they steal that from?
I don't know. Like, look at that, dude.
Whoa.
And it was the smoothest. Like, it was the smoothest.
The columns of the ornament. It's so
That's really detailed for.
wow.
Now, there's that thing on there again. It was on the other one too.
What, the wreath?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The Corona.
What's the date? What does it say? Can you see it? 18. I can't tell if it's an I or not. 18 something. Pause it.
66, 65.
Dude, that's insane. They were fucking making headstones like that in 18 fucking
They were still making cobblestone fucking roads.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they're putting up headstones like this and the obelisk, no big deal in 1865, and then nowadays, like this is what we're dealing with, like over here, like this is like what we get buried underneath nowadays, and we live in shitty wooden houses. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? Like this is like a wealthier person, because that's a normal person only gets 3 inches. You know, this is like a 6-incher. That's thick. You know, that's a couple G's right there. You know what I'm saying? Like some big G's for that. But like, how much would something like, I don't know, this cost or that or any of these over here? You know what I'm saying? Like, like nowadays, like that'd be like probably like 40 grand for one of these. But like your boy was saying, they were probably 3D printing these with their ha shit with their third eye back in the day. I'm telling you. It was probably like that, some Dragon Ball Z shit where they just said some like magic word and some fucking orb came out of their head and won't. Here's your headstone. No big deal. Here's your building. Here's your pyramids. No big deal. Here's the red brick that we just manifest out of nothing. No big deal. Ridiculous. Like, look how like perfect. It has like it has drapes.
Yeah,
it has drapes. It's a fucking headstone.
Like little people live in there.
I think under in here, I think everyone's urn is in there. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Like these are all bolted on there.
That's how they made shit back in 18, whatever the fuck.
Yes, you know.
God, no way, man.
It's just intense.
We're definitely de-evolving as far as creation goes. Creating things.
Or it was lost.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both, I think.
Like Steve said, we live in shitty wooden houses now.
I mean, the houses that they built now go up in a fucking week.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, dude. And like if a tree fell through like an old, or if a tree fell on like an old like mud flood building, like before this event happened, nothing would happen. Let's say like, you know, just a regular oak tree fell into the White House, you know, it'd probably just roll off the side or have a little, you know, a little indent here, whatever, probably a couple of weeks of construction. If a wooden tree, like an oak tree, fell on my house, I'd probably die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What happened here, because I got trees out back my house and they lean this way towards the sun. So every time the wind gusts really hard, I think, oh man, one of those big trees came uprooted, it would land right on my fucking back of my house.
It's crazy. It's literally crazy. But I think I'm gonna start wrapping this up. I'm getting pretty tired. I still gotta pee. It's been like 3 hours and 45 minutes. Not bad.
Yeah, man, we covered a lot of stuff.
We did. I mean, there's not much more we could really cover. We went into the future. We went into the past.
I don't think I'm supposed to be looking at these, man. I'm like, with like, I got all these links. I'm just clicking them, and they're just showing
in the night.
They're showing me like I have on my computer right now satellite images of Israel and their nuclear bombs.
Dude, they're gonna come for you. You better turn Bobby's like, no, I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm putting it out there now.
I'm just saying right now, dude. I'm like,
go missing. Check Israel.
This guy's like hacking the firewall to the Israeli fucking surveillance system.
White van inside.
I just got a fake ID to go to the Gaza Strip to work his way into Israel tomorrow.
That's a guy. That's someone getting kidnapped. Pictured. Okay, thanks. Cool. There's one label here that I'm not going to click because I'm definitely going to go to prison. It's called Italy's child sex trafficking, 2008.
That'll get you.
I'm just going to leave that one alone. But I read a lot of stuff already tonight. And
what do you want?
People are dropping like whatever like they drop. So it's like a lot of emails and photos from like the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s up until 2016.
Yeah.
The one I just clicked on, like there's like all these things for the rituals of like major college fraternities, and like one of them you have to do like a mock memorial service and then a burial ritual. And I was just like going through all of those, reading them, and then I got to Israel and their nuclear bombs and satellite images of the sites.
Huh.
You know. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, you better say your prayers tonight, buddy.
I say them every night. I talk to them all the time.
Good. Put that shit on blast.
On with an extra prayer here and there, baby. Nothing wrong with that.
That's another thing too. Like when people like, I don't like having like a designated time for God.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll say I'm sorry at 6. Jesus, that's all you get from me.
No, I'll be praying while I'm driving. You know, I'll be driving around.
Sometimes I talk like I'll be driving and like something pops in my mind. I'm like, God, like what does that even mean? Like, what does that even blah 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 blah? And like I'm just talking to him.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll be looking up. I'm like, do you see this? I'm like, I hope you like using my eyes as like your eyes right now, because like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's an ongoing conversation for sure.
Sometimes I catch myself like talking to God like I'm talking to like, you know, like someone I'm smoking a L with. I'm like, you believe this mother over here? And I'm like, wait, I shouldn't have said that, I don't think. But you know, he understands all of us in his individual way, which is why we're all individual, which is why you have a different heartbeat than I do, different thumbprint, you know, all these other just really just small different things that make us individual, but we're still all from the same, you know, piece of, or, you know, dirt in the ground that he formed Adam out of. You know what I'm saying? You know, we all have the Fibonacci sequence. You know, technically we all are one, but they want to make us one in a controllable way. God wants us one in a free state of mind, you know, freedom,
You're free to have your own experience, and each of us have our own individual experience. They want to take that away from us. They want us all to have the same experience. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, not this neighborhood, that neighborhood. You know, see what I'm saying? This is what they were telling us with this Mandela effect. It's just going to be shitty all the time.
Yeah, life was like a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
Because you never knew what you were going to get. But now you know what you're going to get.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it stinks, dude. Knowing that these people can just flip the Mandela effect to me, the more I think about it, it was like a warning, you know, like, hey, it's about to get really, really weird, you know, like really weird. Because I was on Mandela way back when it first dropped with Berenstain Bears, and I was like, yo, it was never that, because I'm Mr. Dyslexic, and I would always say the Bernstein Bears, and everyone's like, who the fuck are they? I'm just like, this book here, they're like the Berenstain Bears. I'm just like, oh, and now it's Berenstain. I'm like, nah, I wasn't that dyslexic. You know what I'm saying?
I made a joke about them being Jewish in the 5th grade, and when I was in the 5th grade, and I got detention.
now that would be unapplicable.
That never happened.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because I was like, is it Steen or Stein? Are they Jewish bears? And my teacher was Jewish, so she was like taking offense because of.
If you go back and talk to your teacher, she'll be like, "No, that never happened. I don't even know what you're talking about."
I don't even want to fucking try that.
That way, though, you don't know, you know, because there are a lot of personal Mandela effects, and unless you come across it, you don't know that it's lying in there somewhere. Like if me and my husband never started talking about his brother a couple of years back, just in passing about conversation about where he was working at. And I'm like, well, why doesn't he fucking work in computers? Because he fucking went to school for computers. He's a computer whiz. And my husband turns to me and says, he never went to school for computers. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, he went to school for psychology. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who are you right now? Where am I? Like, what are you even talking about? This guy went to computer school. I've been married to my husband for 15 years. It's like, I know this. And no, he never went to school for computers. He went to school for psychology. Never been a psychologist in his life, but that's what he went to school for.
Wow, that's strange.
Yeah.
That's very strange.
A lot of strange stuff going on probably that we don't even realize, you know, they're all around us. That would be interesting if you did run into that teacher and asked her about it. If she had that memory still, because it's not a Jewish thing now, like it's Stain, you know? You're not going to mix that up with Stein or, you know.
Yeah, it's, you know, all of everything, you know, that's happening right now. It's like I said, we're rapidly approaching the end times, the name of the stream we're doing now. And we are, you know, and that's why everything is like bang, 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 you know, like we're looking over here and then an event happens and we're looking over there and we're over here because it's all happening so quick. It wasn't happening this frequent back in 2018, 17, 16, 15, 14, you know, even when I was like asleep and, you know, a teenager back then, like even regular world events weren't happening. Like you had Ebola, and then 2 years later you'd have another thing, and then 2 years later something else might happen. You know, it was always over time. Now it's like, hey, this happened, bang, 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 and it's all just rapidly we're speeding up towards something. You know, it could be another event. It could be the takeover of the blatant takeover of the satanic cult that I suspect has been running the world for a very long time. And now I think is their time to really start ruling. Let's put it that way, you know, because I mean, they wouldn't be putting all of this shit in the mainstream, you know. Mm-hmm. Celine Dion and her kid clothesline. I saw you and everyone breaking that down last week. That was good to see, because it's that's just intense. You know, people have to see stuff like that.
I felt like you. I was like, I felt the Steve spirit within me, and I'm like screen sharing and doing my thing. I'm thinking Steve would be so proud of me right now.
I was watching. I didn't know who was screen sharing, but I was like, this is good stuff right here.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bobby.
No, I just want one last thing before we get going for fully is, did you guys see that Tom Hanks and his wife are citizens of Greece now?
I did. I meant to mention that earlier. Yeah.
They're all bugging out of the United States.
There has to be something else. I gotta look into that more. But I just saw it and I was just like, what?
Yeah, I heard a lot of people are bugging out. A lot of the higher ups are starting to get out of the country and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting, and apparently, I hear that Jay-Z has been on a boat in the Atlantic for 3 months, and I don't think he's coming back to land anytime soon. I don't know what's happening.
That show, The Last Ship, it's all about a virus that hits the.
That's gonna be Jay-Z's ship.
Jay-Z, he's the last ship.
Oh man, you gotta love when reality meets fiction.
So stupid, dude.
It is, but you guys have any final thoughts before I put a song on and take us out of here?
No, I'm good. I love you guys. Have a good night, and thanks for having me on.
Love y'all. I'm not suicidal.
Yeah, me either. I'm
No,
crazy, but I ain't suicidal.
Exactly. Nah, just you're regular. Just don't be afraid.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming. Now now this is the hardest part of it. Is where are you going to put your big boy or girl pants on, or are you going to bend over to the system because you want to be a part of everything cool? Because I even heard someone say, like, what happens, like, to the people who say they won't get the vaccine, what happens if you send your kid back to school and your kid is sick and they take your kid to the hospital and they have COVID and they give them the vaccine and they say they won't give you back your kid unless you get the vaccine too? Are you not going to get the vaccine?
Well,
that's how they
dead.
Yeah, they'll play dirty like that. You know they will. They'll
how
have
they get you. Yeah.
FEMA camp saying, please just take the vaccine. Look, we're fine. Everything's fine. Just take it. Just go along. Everything will be back to normal. They'll do that to us because Satan wants every soul he wants to take away from God and have all to himself and his fucking minions.
Yeah, exactly. They'll test our temptations. They'll test our spirit. They're going to test everything here in the next couple of days, weeks, months, hell, maybe even years. But I don't see that happen. I see 2021 as being Agenda 21. Let's put it that way. But that's all I really got. Thank you for coming, guys. I love you too. Everyone in the chat, much love to you guys. We're going to get on out of here. And, even though we are rapidly approaching the end game, like Bobby said, have no fear, learn from Christ, come as a man, die as a man. Like Jen said earlier, too, there are a lot of holes and flaws and contradictions and people who translated the Bible, this, that, and the other thing, but you can still take the message. Take the meat, spit the bones. It is what it is. But on that note, we're going to get out of here. Please like, share, and subscribe. God bless. And if you'd like to donate to my PayPal, the link is in the description. And we are out.
You're wondering what life's about and what it really means. Nothing's what you thought it was and nothing's what it seems. Always stressed about the world and all the hurt that it can bring. But God is by your side, so don't you worry about a thing. You feel like you're so far away, no one can hear your screams. Even when you're sleeping, there's no comfort in your dreams. You're living while you're learning and the journey can be mean. But God has got your back, so don't you worry about a thing.
Every day just keeps repeating as you're passing through the seasons. Always struggling with something, always battling with demons. If it's happiness you're seeking, just be happy that you're breathing. They say everything that happens to you happens for a reason. Some days will be hard and then some will be even harder. There'll be times when you feel like you just can't take it any longer. But don't think of giving up, cause there's really no need to bother. Anything that doesn't kill you is making you even stronger. Life will rip you open and then pick you apart. You wish you could have known that's how it is from the start. But when you feel like you're alone and things get bitter and dark, just remember that you're a soldier, there's no fear in your heart. You're able and you're capable. Your strength is unmistakable. Your faith is so unshakable. The pain's made you unbreakable. Any situation that you're facing, you can make it through. God planned it to be that way the day that he created you.
You're wondering what life's about and what it really means. Nothing's what you thought it was and nothing's what it seems. Always stressed about the world and all the hurt that it can bring.
But God is by your side, so don't you worry about a thing.
You feel like you're so far away, no one can hear your screams. Even when you're sleeping, there's no comfort in your dreams. You're living while you're learning and the journey can be mean.
But God has got your back, so don't you worry about a thing. If you put your mind to it, you can be unstoppable. Accomplish any goal you set or conquer any obstacle. Nothing that you cannot do, no problem is unsolvable. Just keep on holding on to hope and anything is possible. Keep on moving forward and stop living in the past. Start spending every minute as if it could be your last. All your dreams you are pursuing, you could get there in a flash. I know that you can do it if you get up off your ass. Time for you to do what you were born to do. The future will have so much more in store for you. At times it might seem like God is ignoring you. If you keep on knocking, he will open up the door for you. This is the beginning, you will hit the ground running. The life that you envisioned, you can feel it now coming. The weight is lifted, you don't have to sit around bugging. God is with you, you don't have to trip about nothing.
You're wondering what life's about and what it really means. Nothing's what you thought it was and nothing's what it seems. Always stressed about the world and all the hurt that it can bring.
But God is by your side, so don't you worry about a thing.
You feel like you're so far away, no one can hear your screams. Even when you're sleeping, there's no comfort in your dreams. You're living while you're learning and the journey can be mean.
But God has got your back, so don't you worry about a thing. God has got your back, so don't you worry about a thing. God has got your back, so don't you worry about a thing.